welcome in everyone. We're going to get started with episode 1 of Sunforged momentarily. Let me give them the little notice. Unmuting. And drift this music down. Unmute on Discord. Hello. Hello. Oh,
really good
hello.
trolls. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Welcome out to episode 1 of Sunforged. Just a little tech thing. I've got to do some editing of just some cams real fast because it wasn't showing me the frames in the preview, so I was kind of just guessing, which is fun. So kind of little, because they got a little shine on them, so there's a little bit of a extra thing. So
Okay.
tiny little bit of editing on this.
So how's everyone been?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How are we? Welcome out. It's been the last time we saw each other was May.
God.
I think we did our one shot between then. But
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Still a while ago, though.
it's still
And that
Still
wasn't all of
us.
us, so it doesn't count.
no, I was talking about our level 21 shot.
Oh, yeah.
I saw some of you in
yeah.
Twilight.
Yes,
That's true.
that was a while ago.
That's true, yeah. That was a while ago. It wasn't too long after our campaign. But yes, welcome out, everyone. If it is your first time here, and this is your first time joining us, it is our second campaign. However, this is the perfect time to come in, as it's set in a totally different continent, with new characters, new story entirely, and a entirely new theme. But with all of the same players, and I mean, I can only so much change my style, so the same kind of style if you enjoyed the first one. But
The first one was okay. Yeah.
yeah, we did okay, right?
Yeah, it was
It was
all
all
right.
We had fun.
Yeah.
We had fun here.
You had to pay me a lot to get me back here this time.
It's true. It's true. In Neopet money.
Yeah, that's my favorite currency.
I couldn't remember the name of it.
They're Neo points. Thanks, bud.
Thanks, man.
Wow,
Thanks,
you
man.
did it.
God, I knew somebody would be like,
I'm so
I know
happy
what
it was
they are.
Shane.
All right, I'm halfway done here. Almost done, though.
I believe in you.
Whilst we do this, can we go around and for anyone who might be newer, obviously I know a lot of people have come over from like everyone's communities and whatnot, but in case there's anyone who's just stopped in and gone, oh, what's this Dungeons and Dragons show? Can we just do a little, everyone just introduce yourselves. Go around for you, OLG, and tell everyone who you are.
Hi. I'm OLG. That's not my real name. My real name is Christine. You don't have to call me OLG,
What?
which does stand for, I know,
Name
right?
reveal.
Weird. Do you guys, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt my own self because
Sure.
when, I realized that like Shane Hawk is not Shane's like
Yeah, my name
first
is
and last
Nicholas.
name. I was like,
His name-
I can't,
You
and
didn't know
it
that,
stresses
Bree?
me out so much. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so like, it felt like, I don't know. It was a
Bree's like,
real-
now I really have to poop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was like my entire world shifted when I was like, your name's not even Shane. I don't. And now when I like say Shane feels weird. Anyway, that's me. Sometimes I stream stuff. Sometimes I tweet shit talking on, post shit, whatever it is. That place. Sometimes I'm there and also here.
Well,
Shane Hawk, you're up next.
that was a long intro for not really saying anything.
That's my talent. Have we not met? That's literally the one thing that I'm super good at. Jesus Christ,
yeah.
dude. What did you expect? You should have started with
Well, I think
Dodger
everyone comes in. Shane, tell us who you are.
Hey, I'm Shane, or am I guess now?
Are
Shane?
you?
Okay. Shane is
Identity
still my
crisis?
middle name. It's still a part of my identity.
Okay.
No,
as
you're
a
gonna blow
person.
people's minds with this. Don't do this. It's not
True.
the time.
It's stressful.
It's not the time.
Not the time.
You can't do this. It's session 1.
When I learned it wasn't your real name, it fucked me up for like a week. Don't-
I'm pretty fucked up
I
right now.
felt
I'm not
like
gonna
the
lie.
universe shift.
I'm sorry.
Dude,
I'm Shane. That's my name for everybody. My name is Shane. That's me. I'm Shane Hawk. I'm here. I don't know what else to say.
What do you do?
yeah, what do you do, man?
I stream sometimes, not as much recently because I've had to work and make money and pay rent.
Also fist bump.
Shout out
so
to that.
valid.
Yeah, society. Am I right?
Yeah, love it. Woo, capitalism.
Getting political on this episode.
Well, that's good because the Sunforged is a very political setting. It's all planned. Bree.
Hi, I'm Brie Bun. If you don't know who I am, it's probably for the best. If you do know who I am, I'm very sorry. You probably know who I am because you've heard of me through other people here as the poop girl or the diaper girl or the pee girl.
The
These
diaper
are the
girl.
three liquid. Yeah.
I want you to know, by the way, this
She'll
is
say anything.
this
She'll
is
say
episode
anything for a
1.
drop of clout.
This is episode 1. That is your introduction from this point on. It doesn't go back. We don't redo this bit. you are now Poop Girl.
You had a chance to start fresh.
Yeah, you
and
could have given yourself anything.
Freaking diaper girl, dude. God damn.
Diaper girl. Yeah, I do variety streams. I'm a really emotional
The
person,
crinkler.
and I'm a crinkler at heart.
It's true. Thanks, Brie. Tomato.
I'm in actual physical pain.
Hey.
Yeah, I thought that was coming. It's Sam.
Hey.
Come on.
You two are like you're
thought
like
it
the
would be
two naughty
different.
kids that sit at the back of class, you know.
damn it.
And we come back to a new
Or
semester.
We're the good kids in this situation.
I don't know.
I
I'll take.
didn't talk
They're
about
not
being,
wearing
like-
diapers.
Short
I didn't
and
talk
sweet.
about being a piss boy. Like I didn't say anything about it. I didn't.
I like to keep that quiet. I don't really like to
For the record,
brag
it is.
about
I think
it.
that's confirmation.
After like 100 and something episodes of you never shouting yourself out, I'll take piss boy at this point. You know, I'll take anything, anything for a sentence. Finally, Dodger.
Hi, I'm Dodger. I am a piss boy, but I'm also a streamer. Yeah, that's it.
Well, hello, welcome to my
Joe,
channel.
Are you a piss boy?
I have partaken in the urinal variety. This is our second Dungeons and Dragons campaign, Sunforged. Our previous one was Godforged. We played it for 3 years, and it was a long, fun experience. A campaign that went from level 2, 3, all the way up until level 17, 18, even a level 21 shot. So coming at this point is coming right at the beginning to experience a campaign with us straight from the get-go, from level 2 onwards, to discover a new world of stories, break down each of these characters, and learn what is in store for them. So welcome in for the journey. I know a lot of people have been waiting to kind of come in at the beginning. A lot of our campaigns have been just kind of grabbed midway through. So this is a perfect opportunity to do so. I did want to just give a couple of disclaimers before we start. First of all, a thank you to Sylph Visuals for the opening screen, and then also our Be Right Back screen, and then Hopeless Bay for the frames and the overlay that you're seeing right now. And then just a general future thank you to all of the artists that worked on all of the character art. But we will not spoil that yet, because you'll see as we get into the episode. Also, I should say as well that though it's not going to be like a harrowing theme consistently, there is horror elements in this. There's going to be some body horror. There'll be some stuff that might make you feel uncomfortable when it comes to deeper descriptions. I always try and kind of pre-warn it. But for the most part, we obviously avoid the general discussions of stuff that would make most people uncomfortable. But just for stuff like body horror and that element, expect it. Because this is a world that is very much inspired by political, feudal, gothic, other fantasy worlds of the like. And then, what else? Fan artists, thank you. We've already had a couple pieces come in already for just general things, which is wild before we've even started.
We haven't even started.
I know, they've already drawn
That's awesome.
a significant moment in history, which is cool. We will start to look at all fan art, whether it be monthly or during the episode at the end of episodes, because I know it was requested. So any fan art can be posted on the Discord. We have a Discord where you can go and discuss live all of the live spoilers of the show, and then post your theories and whatnot over on the Discord. So if you want to do !fudged rolls, you can hop in there and start kind of theory crafting or just discussing the show. And then before we get started with everything, this does get uploaded on YouTube, so if you do miss out and you don't watch the Twitch VOD, there is a YouTube channel which you can watch on. And there's also, if you want to see behind the scenes, there is a Patreon where you can see all my GM notes, homebrew monsters and whatnot as well. And we will also have a rotating bit of art, which I know people requested last time, that they wanted to see your stats as you progress. So we'll have that along with a little sponsor spot. So if you are if you're a sponsor looking to sponsor the show, you can do that to help support the cast, and all artwork and anything that we throw back into the show come from the sponsors. Other than that, has anyone got anything they want to shout out before we begin our campaign?
No, let's go.
Then, let us begin. In a town, on a rainy day, a half-orc, broad of stature, probably in his mid-50s, is cleaning up his various mugs, some glasses, though, for the more expensive patrons. His tavern, mostly made of wood and kind of cobbled brick. This town seems to be built off of a dirt pathway. Holds probably a population of a few hundred at tops. All your general buildings of general stores, inns, and whatnot. But ours begins inside the tavern itself. It's about 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and the tavern owner finishes up cleaning and walks over towards a table of 3. On that table, you'd see a dwarf with kind of knotted beard, a little bit cracked from the soot of the fire where the ashes come in. You see a human who's leaning forward, his hair a little bit greasier and kind of brushed back, in his early 20s. And alongside them as well, a gnome who sits there dabbling with scrolls, trying to sort his bag and put things back together as they drink and share some food, breads and a soup that the bowls have kind of filled down to just the last remnants of their soups. The tavern owner walks over to them. All right, do you need anything else? We're going to be closing up shop soon. There's a storm brewing. One of the human leans over. No, that's all. Your coin. We got coin. Your coin's no good here. Not to you, mighty adventurers. We slayed a few rats. A few rats that were disturbing the inn down the road. Our healer thanks you. Your coin's no good. Finish your bellies. Get down there. I've got to batten up the hatches here. Appreciate it. And on our way, maybe you'll find some gnolls or basilisks or some creepy crawly spiders to fight down for us. They just kind of shake their head. We appreciate it. Where's the inn? Down the road. At the end. They start clearing up way, putting their things to the side. The innkeeper looks around. There's only a few other patrons all finishing up their drinks, but one sits in a corner. Hooded. By the window. Looking downward. No drink on his table. Hands folded so the sleeves cover any portion of skin. The tavern sighs and walks over. A candle is the only thing on this man's table. We're closing up in a moment. So if you want anything, it's the last orders now. The man ignores. Listen, I understand not ordering anything in a tavern. I get it. The atmosphere, maybe you just wanted the company or just the sound. But you can't stay here during the storm. I've got to knock everything down and then head upstairs myself. But the inn down the road has plenty of room. He ignores him. So I'm not going to ask you again. He pulls the hood off. And beneath, there is nothing. Just shimmering darkness. Like a shadow manifest. The tavern keeper backs off, taking 2 steps. As the man rises. The moment he stands, the other patrons start to notice, and looking at this just hanging robe that almost drifts up into the sky. A foot off the ground, it floats. Everyone stands confused. One person lifts up the candle from their table, kind of pointing in the direction, hoping that the light might illuminate any form of mortality. But the robe drops off, and only shadow remains underneath. And all the lights go out. Silence fills the tavern. It's dark inside, though the light of the dreary, foggy day, grey, outside slowly seeps in through the windows. What the hell is this? The ground starts tremoring and shaking. Mugs fall off of the tables. Something is creating a disturbance outside, and you hear the entire town start shaking. Glass starts cracking. The innkeeper steps to the window and watches as the town seemingly comes away from the ground on the edge of town. It splits, cratering, a great ring separating the town from the rest of the land. pulling it away. You see people gathering outside, start going towards where the crater is forming. It wraps a perfect ring around the entire town. The innkeeper steps back. There's an earthquake! It's... The whole town comes to a stop. And it begins falling. Into darkness. You see everyone in the tavern kind of trip and fall against the tables as the town seems to be falling like an elevator falling ever downward. Like it's been suspended, been cut into darkness. Ever darker, as the only light they have now is where the surface and the great crater is open. It plummets, seemingly going to crash, and then slows, coming to a stop. A mile or so underground. The tavern keeper pushes, unbolting the door, stepping outside. He looks around. Darkness all around them, only the light peering down from far up. And then eyes. All around, peering down. It looms around from every single corner. People start screaming as black tentacles shoot outward, grabbing them, pulling them into the darkness. Screams are cut off, like breath being caught underwater. The tavern keeper rushes inside, grabs his axe from behind the tavern, pulls outside, hoping that he can help some of the townsfolk. People are screaming, rushing into the houses, but being dragged. Tentacles are shooting through the glass, dragging people outside, pulling them. He swings but misses as a tentacle shoots past him. You can see everyone being dragged from this town. The adventurers and other people start gathering into the small portion of light that's gathered into the center of town. They start backing up against each other. Tentacles are shooting in. He swings at one, but it goes through it. Almost like blowing away mist. They're grabbing, pulling, tugging everyone. He looks up as the light slowly starts drifting from the outside, like it's being cut off. Getting slowly smaller, like a spotlight. He looks up and he notices that the sky itself is closing. But not the sky. The ground at top is ever closing inward, locking off the town from the surface. The light getting smaller and smaller as it drifts close. His shout is muffled on the sky as the surface and the town below is left in darkness. On top, the ground itself looks unnatural, like rockery grown around meadows of grass, where the world itself is fused over, hiding what was once a town. As the nighttime passes, a day comes, and a night comes, and the light and dark continuously come back and forth as the passing of the days. And over time, the town is forgotten, as rock becomes grass, becomes mud, becomes dirt track road, becomes overgrown meadow. Life begins feeding over what was once a town. It could have been years or decades ago this happened, but forgotten by nature. A plump bird flies down, barely able to keep its weight up, almost like hummingbird wings, with a frog's head that's furry, flies down onto the ground and waits. It shoots out a tongue, two of them at the same time, that grip out and pull in insects, searching. It pulls a few more, grabbing a couple of worms, before setting up into the sky. Taking its weight in for a moment, it breathes in and deflates, getting thinner as it goes up, before an arrow strikes it out of the air. It lands on the ground. Footsteps clunk, clunk through the grass, onto some of the rockery beneath. As a hand lifts up and grabs it, we see a humanoid figure, greenish skin, but almost insectoid-like mandibles at the bottom of his mouth. Portions him like he's half scorpion with a large tail that comes around. Its clothing kind of tailored to fit in the tail, but the end of it, with the stinger, pierces out. He writhes back and forth, almost a little bit content with himself as he looks at the kill. He nestles his bow onto his shoulder and pulls his bird over the other. His chainmail rattles slightly, the cloak that he wears over it, and begins walking through the tree line. As he wanders through, He walks for a little while through the trees. It must be about 4 a.m. at this point. It's not bright outside. The stars are alight in the sky. But he manages to maneuver his way over towards the only bit of light that he can see. A campfire. It is burning its last embers as if it was like the night before. And he comes across a small camp of only 2 bedrolls. One already wrapped up. And the other potentially occupied, or someone could be around it. Let's ask them. Sam. As this man, the Scorpion Man, walks back towards the camp, can you describe what your character is doing and what they look like?
Yeah. You would see a human woman, also chainmail with a robe covering, packing up a bedroll, and folding up a parchment that seems important and tucking it inside the robe.
You'd see as he kind of steps over towards you. And actually, another question I will ask as well. Can you tell everyone what class you're playing?
Yeah. I am playing a paladin. We'll go with a paladin for now. Playing a paladin. Yeah.
You see as the knight kind of steps into the area. Sir Kittick, he looks down towards you. I bought us breakfast. He kind of throws it to the ground and begins defeathering it. It's not the best of pheasant around here, but it is good enough to eat. If you know where to eat. Pulls a couple more feathers off. We'll pack up the fire soon. We'll be there in a few hours.
Where are we going again?
Crown Heart Hall. We're going to a party, my friend.
Why?
There is reason to believe they might be there. Kios and his accompaniment. Besides, it's best to teach you the ways of the world once we have a chance to get out here. I've got you a present.
Oh.
Go on the saddlebag of my horse. On the right side. I'm sure you'll like it. He finishes defeathering one side of the bird and spins it around.
You would see her pause until her head, until the horse whinnies, and then approach the horse. Feel for the saddlebag.
Yeah, you can reach inside.
Okay.
You feel kind of like almost like a silk linen cloth that you pull out, and you can see kind of stored in there. There's these fine clothes. Unlike what you'd usually wear, something like a tunic, not really designed for like a feminine build, more like a masculine build, but kind of fitted to you. No dress, more kind of just like general clothing that you might find like a lord wear, or someone in their kind of just fineries. He laughs under his breath. Where are we going? They do not allow armor. We must dress as they do.
What color is it?
It is violet, with a black top. You'd look nice. Mine is to match.
You insist?
No, it is not I that insists, it is them. We must abide by their rules whilst they're there. All weathers is a little different where we're from, my friend. See, it is not so openly obvious how people's intentions are. They'll smile to you to your face, holding a dagger behind their back. So remember,
I assume that's why you brought me along.
I need your gift. It is easier to find secrets when they are not so obvious, when your eyes deceive you.
You have it, of course.
Good. He looks at a small kind of letter and then tucks it away and pushes it into his inside pocket. Begins defeathering the bird. Finishes it, sorry. And he can attaches it to the top of the spit, pushing it through. Begins using his tinderbox to relight the fire and burn to the bottom. And the reason I got you up so early, I want to show you something. Something you don't see back home. Come on. Begins walking down the road. Don't worry. There shouldn't be anything here that would come for a kill.
Okay. She would follow.
He wanders for about 5 or so minutes and then stares up towards the sky, waiting. He folds his hands behind his back and watches up into the sky. Soon.
Is this your idea of a joke?
It is no joke, my friend. I've only seen it twice myself when leaving Verland. The mountains make it difficult to see from there. Here. Look. Roll a perception check.
Okay. First roll of the campaign. Wait. Query toggle. I got it fixed.
Okay.
Perception.
Mm-hmm. And for any newcomers, we don't show the rolls on screen. We say our rolls aloud.
A 16.
Though you do not see it, and though it's kind of outside of your range, you feel it. For this kind of essence, a pull. I do not know what you see, my friend. But I bet it is different to me. Perhaps more beautiful. He watches.
Feel it.
As almost like a shooting star fires off into the distance. A shooting star firing up. This orb so far away. But it must be so large to be seen from here. Goes all the way into the sky. You don't see this. He watches as it goes up there, hovering for a moment. And almost all at once, the sky goes from this dark black with the stars streaming in to an orange sunrise just blooming over like a flower opening up its petals, but from the sky inward, from away from this orb. For you would see beautiful greens. As the transmutation illusion magic merges, you can see it's just light encompasses the sky. As the Sunforged goes up and begins the dawn. Come. Let us get our things and we'll arrive. I think you'll enjoy this place.
I disagree.
Goes back to gather the horse. And the two knights gather their things, packing up, and begin heading down towards Crown Art Hall. The year is 499 TD. The third dawn in the continent of Hyloma. It's the eve of the 500th anniversary since the marvel known as the Sunforged was created, to replicate the dawning and setting of the sun. Once, the land was alight by the power of the Lux Well. From the morning till the evening, never truly getting dark either. Always at night in a state of twilight. 13 houses descended from angelic beings, celestials born of Kaiva, the sun goddess. Her gift to the land was a well of light that would keep darkness at bay. And it did. For many millennia. Until an arrogant king, the final monarch of Hyloma, decided to use reality magic, forbidding magic, to tear a sun from another false world and draw it into ours. But the power he attempted was beyond him, and he devastated portions of the land. The 13 houses went into a civil war and fought for 100 blessings, which is what we refer to as years in Hyloma, until eventually the monarchy fell. 4 decades it took before they established each of their own territories, regions which they'd rule themselves. 4 centuries it took for them to design and build the Sunforged. During those 4 decades of darkness, one thing was made clear. There would never be a monarchy again. Now, each house controls a region is not unlike a monarch themselves. There are many lesser houses as well, always pining for the power that their superiors hold. One such lesser house is House Lepos, and their home, Crown Heart Hall. The day is Toll, the 7th day of the 8-day week, on the 26th dawn of the month of Ven. It is the final day of summer. What better time for a festival? The festival known as Cathda Orlo translates from Elvish into the last of the warm days. It's known for its bountiful feasts, the last strings of joyful music before bards turn to songs of sorrow for those colder, darker days. And here, in Crown Heart Hall, it is known for a specifically grown fruit that only blooms once a year on this particular day. Fire lemons! Get your fire lemons! Fire lemon tarts! Fire lemon pastries! Get your fire lemons! The voice can be heard echoing across the lower portion of the markets, just below the carved steep hill that the namesake of the town, Crown Heart Hall, sits upon. Beautiful meadows surround this town. It's somewhere between a keep and a manor on top of the hill, and the town wraps around it. The homes built on roads that would make the town look as if it were a blooming flower if you looked down upon it from above. Fire lemons! Fire lemons! The voice echoes up toward a balcony. 80 feet or so above, hanging over the market, is a balcony. The smell of fresh-baked goods draws the one standing on it. Inside, the room, a large bed, dressing room, mirrors all around, and plenty of clothing that hangs on mannequins and all sorts. A handmaiden is folding and preparing a dress. But on the balcony looking out. Dodger, would you like to introduce your character?
Yeah, you would see a very tall woman with beautiful curly blonde hair. And she's glowing in a way that everyone in this land would know only Aasimar do. And she looks a bit restless. She's kind of pacing around. Seems like she wants to be doing something else.
And for the audience, do you want to say what class you're playing?
A bard.
About.
My first bard ever.
You hear from inside. Lady Zonia, I'm almost done
Yes.
preparing your dress.
Thank you, Penny.
You are so lucky. The handmaiden stands up. Her skin is golden. She's a tiefling with very, very slight horns. They almost just protrude out the skin. But she has rigid bones on her cheeks that kind of stick out as well. Very white bones that come out, same as her horns. She'd kind of like stand there giddy with excitement. Are you excited most to meet? I can't believe I'm so excited for you.
Oh, well, you know how it is. It's a lot of standing where you're supposed to and talking to who you're supposed to. So potentially I will only talk to the people I'm meant to and that I talk to every day. She'll step onto, there's probably like a stand of some kind that she has to get onto while she's getting dressed. So.
Yeah. She would start kind of dressing you and pulling, kind of making sure that the dress fits. And as she's talking, she says, nonsense. They'll be distracted today. They'll be so focused on what everyone else thinks of them. This is the one day they won't be paying attention to you.
I suppose I've heard that there's going to be a couple of people from Songrest. And I hope I can speak with them.
If there's a time to do so, it'd be today. You shouldn't bring that place up as so often. You know how they get.
I know.
There's a knock at the door. And Penny kind of just like steps back away from you for a moment. The dress is kind of on you, tied up at the back.
Come in.
Stepping through, you'd see a younger man, handsome but a little bit kind of boyish and shy looking. His eyes are a little bit too large for his face, as they're kind of bright and blue, and he kind of steps through, and his hair pushed back, dark, bring with kind of ginger at the end, so it goes from like black to ginger, almost like embers in an empty fire. It's Olimar, and he kind of steps through, and I didn't mean to disturb. I just thought maybe.
It's all right.
Do you need anything from me?
No, I'm just getting dressed and then I'll be waiting, I suppose, unless you need me.
No. I just. You look
Are
very
you
lovely.
bored? Do you want to walk around?
I am quite. Everything's just being set up. There is Forvana's been out here. He kind of pushes the door open, and Forvana, this elven lady, very dull features, hair kind of pushed back, long black hair, elven. And if an elf could look dull, she does. Almost like she was conjured by an unimaginative god. She's just very kind of plain features. Hard to kind of recognize her from a crowd. She stands there in plain clothing, holding a carafe of kind of steaming water. Penny rolls her eyes. Forvana, we needed that an hour ago. I've already filled her. She's already bathed.
It's all right, Forvana, thank you.
Of course, you're my lady. And she turns and wanders back. Olimar kind of smiles awkwardly.
Sonia like, ugh.
He kind of steps to one side. I mean, we can look around if you like. They set up both halls. I can smell the food. I've spoiled myself in having a little look down there. It's going to be quite the feast, apparently, if Father wants to impress everyone that's coming.
I mean, honestly, if you don't think I'll get in trouble, I would love to get dressed and then get out of here, so...
I doubt it. My father is so concerned about everyone else, he's barely even spoke to me.
Great. All right.
And we can go look at the kitchen.
It should only be... Just a look at Penny. Just a couple minutes.
She said, you've got time. Everyone's still arriving, and there's one thing I know about nobles. It's they like to take their time. I'll be here. I'll be fixing up everything, and come back and I'll do your hair.
All right. Thank you. She'll like squeeze her shoulders and then, let herself get, decent, and then join Olimar outside.
The two of you begin looking around. He takes you down the halls and into the main dancing hall. You can see the feast room has kind of been closed off as they're still preparing all of the tables. The dancing hall pulled so that music can be played in one corner. There's plenty of drinks and glasses kind of stacked so beautifully around on tables. Cloths thrown on the fineries that don't really make it out more than outside of the festivals. He stands in the dancing hall, now kind of empty outside of the various servants that are coming in and filling everything. Guards wait by the door. I wanted to let you know before he says anything.
All right.
I think Father's going to announce that we're to be married.
Oh, well, we knew that was going to happen eventually.
Just didn't want you to be taken unawares.
I appreciate it. Are you all right?
It is what is expected of us, right?
Yes.
So, it is a great day, I suppose. I mean, we knew it would come, so at least we don't have the worry anymore.
Right.
Are you?
Chin up. It'll be all right. We'll figure it out.
We will. And I'm sure we can, post-wedding, we can go on a trip somewhere and get far away from here for a while.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
If Father lets you.
Well, once I'm married to you, I think it's up to you, don't you?
I don't know how much sway I'll have, but I suppose a little bit more. All right.
She'll like link their arms.
Kind of smiles and looks at her. Okay. I'll get used to it. Let's prepare the kitchens. Once all of the food is pulled together, it creates a unbelievable smell.
It's amazing.
Come. And he takes you towards the kitchens to kind of get a sneak peek of what's to come that evening. And we pull away from the keep and move back down towards the town. The festival not only designed for those who are in the noble structure and up in the halls, but also for the townsfolk as well. Those who find themselves selling new goods or drinking any of their neighbors' ales that have been prepared, and enjoying the festivities that comes with a town so kind of excited to be a part of the festival together. It is the final day of summer, and in a land where the light and lux is the primary religion, this is the day of one of the most holiest days of the year. So everyone is ecstatic and in high spirits. And coming in on the edge of town, their carts bringing them in. Riding at the front with 2 horses pulling, and a slight tent over the back of this carriage. Not a fancy carriage, more like a wagon. Is an elderly, slightly armored, but only on the front portion because an elderly turtle. The turtle back is actually kind of painted into a dark, almost like a dark grey that's kind of painted over and encrusted into the actual shed itself. Extremely old. She kind of leans over and holds onto the reins as it slowly comes into the towns. Through the walls and past the gates which are open and filled. People move aside. Not through any noble gates, not through the passageway which other lords might come through, but instead through the main gates of the town and pulling up towards the stables. She bangs on the wood behind. My dears, we have arrived. She leans off and begins to talk to the stable master there. In the back would be 2 people riding. Tomato and Brie, who would like to introduce themselves first?
Bree can go first.
Oh, you fucker. All right. You see emerge from the wagon a very pale, small, like 5'2" looking woman rather, with long moth antenna. She's wearing all white, dressed as if she came from somewhere snowy and cold. And the ends of her hair look tainted from red or pink. If you were to look closer, you'd realize it was blood. And her pupils are huge at this point as she steps off and is taken by everything around her. And she stands to the side and waits for her partner, who was in the wagon, to come out. She's very stiff in posture, very proper.
And who is coming out of the wagon beside her?
Very sort of clumsily, as he's carrying a lot of supplies that he didn't expect to have to grab so quickly. A tall, relatively broad-billed male hobgoblin with a powerful mustache and very clean-ish white clothing and a lot of medical tools strapped to him every which way, is Carlisle Davenport.
Carlisle Davenport.
Well, you could at least help me carry some of it if you're gonna step on out that fast. And he's gonna hand you through the wagon his big wheel, this big rug, essentially this rolled up rug of supplies that he can't get out by himself.
She'll take them and carry them with ease and kind of nod and grunt.
You see Iridot's kind of like paying up front for some of the for like staying and kind of nursing up the horses. You see they're kind of pulled away and the wagon starts moving on away from you. She kind of steps around to the back, sword on her belt still, wearing kind of this like almost like studded leather kind of tunic at the front. Around. All right, well, if you are prepared, we can start walking through the town. I've taken us through the main gate. It is far more enjoyable to grab some of the fire lemons and whatnot they have down here.
Well, hold your horses just a second there, and Carlisle's gonna pull out a stethoscope and he's gonna try to put it to Rodad's chest before they go any further.
You'd hear the very kind of slow, but it starts speeding up because of the excitement and the adrenaline around her. But it seems like she's nothing to notice that is that's problematic.
All right, well, you're gonna take a swig of this anyways, because I'm not about to let you go walking through here. I told you I'd get you all the way to the festival, all right?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. All right, I'll drink your medicine.
Yeah, I'll pull out a little like tincture or something and hand it to her.
She takes it and just kind of swigs it back. Her face kind of showing that she's still not used to the taste, despite having drank it for on the road many times. Passes back the vial to you. And V, how are you feeling?
Overwhelmed. This is a lot.
This is culture here. This is townships and society in the south. Yes.
It's distractions, if anything.
Of course it is. It's all distractions, all of it. I mean, people spend their entire lives down here just to live in tight houses built closely together, wallowing in their own shit. Welcome to the town of Crownheart Hall, dear V. Don't worry, where we're going will be much more different.
Oh yeah, they're gonna think we're weirdos. I'll tell you that right now.
They already do, I'm
What
afraid.
What is weirdos? What is this word?
Well, like creeps or kind of just uncomfortable to look at, kind of a spectacle. You ever been to a circus or anything like that?
I know not.
No, I don't know why I asked you that. I don't think you've been. There's no circuses up north.
You see someone wandering past, and they have these kind of red lemons. You see, and hands across a few silver coins and grabs one. She brings out a small little kind of like skinning knife and just slices off a couple of pieces, hands them across to both of you. Now, they are very, very spicy, but comes with a bitter kick at the end. Only grow around here for one day.
All right. I mean, I ain't gonna pass it up. And Carlisle will absolutely down it.
Yeah, you kind of bite into it. You feel like the skin is just like a lemon, like it's less spicy, but it's bitter. But the actual juices itself is like almost drinking like almost like a Reaper chili, like water at that point. It's extremely hot, almost like you're burning your throat.
V will grab one with her big like claws and kind of just scarf it down immediately, not swallowing. Sustenance. Thank you.
You're going to feel that in the morning, I'm afraid. All right.
What does that mean?
Well, let's just say it burns more the other way. Well, shall we go through the town? Come, see what they have to offer. And she begins
sounds
turning,
like a good idea.
slowly walking ahead of you. Keeps a few feet ahead, allowing you two to walk together. You see people dancing and frolicking through the town, wearing kind of headdresses of flowers tied together. You see kind of long gowns, people holding baskets, hanging out food. Trade is still paramount, but people seem to kind of almost barter and trade with like almost exchange. Here, breads for cakes, and everyone just kind of almost being extremely friendly and welcoming. Bowing to you as you go past, music playing, bards standing out in the streets, singing songs, some talking and shouting out their stories. You would go past a stage nearby, not much of a crowd, only a few people, maybe 3 or 4 there. You'd see a gnome standing on the stage with a cloak too big for him, wrapped around on the front, bald head, eyes drawn on his forehead to make it look like he's got 4 eyes. He stands there, clean shaven, this gnome, and stands at the front. "I, the great phantom man, and my devil companion." A tiefling kind of sits at the back, almost whittling this kind of small little doll, but like spiking up the legs, bored with a knife. You can see a blue tiefling, curled downward horns, wears a mask, looks pretty bored because you can see the mask only covers half his face, almost like he's got something to hide beneath it, like a scar. And he sits there kind of whittling, rolling his eyes, kind of noticing as the crowd only gets smaller as they start going towards someone else. Odo listens and sees like a crowd gathering around someone who stood on kind of a small stool. People kind of listening and hearing. Not a bard singing a song. Not someone playing music. But someone telling a story. Shane?
So you'll see a figure. You can't see any part of him. All you see is a wide, dark brimmed hat and a duster. He's sitting, one of his feet propped up on the knee of his other leg, swirling a glass of a drink that he clearly can't drink because you'll see his face and he's a full automaton. And the crowd is silent right now, and he's silent. There's anticipation. So there I was, surrounded by 5, maybe 6 massive ogres. About as big as this square we're in right now. The biggest one was using a soldier's spear as a toothpick.
You hear a
There
kind of
was
gasp
no
from the
easy
crowd.
way. I approached, hands up. Don't want to show him a threat. Yet. The big one looks down, tells me I'm his next meal. Then he realizes I ain't got no meat on me. I point at that big guy, tell him, hey, you got a good eye. It's a shame. Bam! I loose a crossbow bolt right into the tip of that spear, wedged it in his eye. The ricochet of the bolt hits the other eye. He's blind, flailing that spear around, stabs 2 of his buddies. The rest hightail it out of there before they get impaled next. So, in turn, yes, I was a little late arriving here, but only because I got held up for a short minute.
People start kind of clapping. Oh my god, you see someone going, sir, thank you for what you're doing on the road. These people start kind of
stopping me.
splitting apart. Some people kind of start handing you coin. You get given overall about 2 gold and 5 silver, as people just hand it over in like copper and silver coins. Impressed by the story, almost like tipping you. They move on around to the next bards. A few other people just talking like, through the eyes, can you believe it? And kind of all just dispersing. See, I like that one. What's your name?
Yeah.
Me? I'm Desmond.
Desmond. And Desmond, what do you do? You're a hunter of some sort?
I wander here and there, hunting if it is an opportunity, I guess.
Indeed. Well,
Yeah, well, as a wanderer to a wanderer, it's nice to meet you. I'm Carlisle.
It's good to meet you,
Immediately
partner.
shake your hand.
Grab it, shake back.
Via's
There's
gonna
a
be
part
like,
of Carlisle that's like looking closely while he's shaking your hand to try to figure out like what exactly you are, because I don't think he's ever seen something like you before.
Yeah, you would feel his hand if you're not wearing a glove or anything. It is ice cold, metal to the touch.
Via's antenna are like alert as she glares at Desmond. You,
Oh, and this is my traveling companion. Carlisle's gonna like gesture for you to also introduce yourself.
This one does not smell of blood. I do not like it.
No,
Oh, I clean up nice.
do not believe he has blood.
Yeah.
Blasphemous. What do you mean he does not have blood?
Well, I mean, I don't think he, unless correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't think he has blood. Like he's a little too cold for it, at least here.
Yeah, no blood here. Just maybe hydraulic fluid, metal, some flexible polymer.
Sin.
Are you two adventurers, partners?
Oh no,
What do you do?
We're just traveling down for the festival.
Oh, there's a lot to do here. Let me take you in.
we have a little bit of time. We're going to be heading up into the hall. You show us around there, I'll bring you in up there.
All right, well, I'll see all 3 of you then.
All right. I'm
right.
Uladot. Are you invited to the hall at the top?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Everybody invites me everywhere. It's no big deal.
journey in with us then. All right. Well,
Yeah.
show us around.
Well, more the merrier, and Carlisle's gonna immediately like just grab you and pull you into the group.
Show us then, Desmond. What's the town like?
Oh, there's all sorts of occasions here happen all the time, really. What buildings do I see just at a glance?
Yeah, you'd see the corner tavern, which has it's completely open at the front door. There's no actual door. It's like an archway that leads straight into the tavern. It's built onto the corner of the road. There's a general store nearby, and then the marketplace is kind of wrapping around underneath the castle above you. And you can see all of the stalls are kind of laid out, and they do again very flower themed. They kind of lay them out into like this almost like blooming flower going out, so you get all these kind of different roads that lead into it. But those are the ones in your immediate kind of square.
All right. The first building I see on the left, probably the biggest looking one, I would point to it. A lovely couple lives there. Just recently, there was a disaster. The wife was going into labor. It was an emergency. I had to help deliver the baby right there on the street in front of it.
You delivered a baby.
I did.
Carlisle's gonna insight check him. Yeah, Carlisle's gonna insight check that.
say our
Possibly just
classes?
because he's so shocked that he's like a little impressed and focuses on it pretty hard here.
Holy
that
shit.
is
I nat 20'd.
He nat 20.
Holy
21, that's still
shit. Nice job, Shane.
Yeah, a nat 20 on the deception check with a, what's that, 21 on the insight?
21, yeah.
You're usually pretty good at reading people. But it seems like he definitely did this. I mean, he's adamant
Wow.
about it. Why would he lie?
Well, that is an awfully impressive thing to just what were you doing there?
Oh, like I
Don't
said,
mind.
I just wander, look for
You just
trouble
wa-
if there's any.
And you just wandered into someone's house to help
I
deliver
did.
their baby. That is what a coincidence. That's honestly really inspiring.
Yeah, the people here, they're real friendly.
All right.
As you all kind of getting acquainted with each other, Morgan, you'd be arriving at the edge of town, just kind of putting away your horses. By this point, you can see that the other knight with you has already changed into his fine clothing. Would you have?
Yeah.
So you can see he's kind of uncomfortably like tugging where the horse is kind of pulled it, separating portions of it, and kind of like passes across the horse, paying the couple of coins to have the two horses stabled. And walking over, this is the Lord's entrance. You can see there's guards, and it's almost like built into the barracks area. And you can see they've kind of almost laid out a nicer section where they've trimmed down the grass, and the road leads around, and it's kind of got a side door into the actual castle itself. And goes up a hill, up this kind of staircase that wraps around the side of the hill on this side. You can hear the festival in the distance, and you can hear the guards kind of meandering around the area. They take in your stable. They treat you kind of very kindly as well. And you would see coming over towards you, you would see this pretty finely clad, very like flamboyant, almost Victorian, like with a kind of a puffing neck around his kind of tunic. You see this man walking over towards you, very pale skin, white hair that kind of pulls back just behind his ears, but darkens on the top. And then beside him is slightly taller, pinkish skin, an elf of some sort wearing very fine clothing, almost like a wrapped blazer at the front. It's like almost like this burgundy kind of color, and it almost looks like it's kind of made of this kind of velvet material on the outside. These two like lords walk towards the both of you, and you can see the first one goes, "Sir Kittick, is that you? How long has it been?" "Ah, Lord Gortenberg, Lord Gartenwacker. I think 3-4 years. Is it? Well, I hardly recognize you without a mask on." See him kind of look down. "I was there on business, as I said back then. Of course you were. And who was your knight companion, I assume? Squire?" "This is Sir Morgaine. Knight. Part of the chapter of the Vault Keepers as well." You see Lord Varco kind of tilts his head. "Ah. Well met, Sir Morgaine."
You would nod her head, but like there's a silk hood that is sitting just below the nose. Yeah. It's a pleasure.
Oh, no, you want pleasures, you come to our city. Our Sir Kittic here. Again, I was there on business, not on pleasure. Ah, of course you are. I come from the city of the Seven, my friend. Have you heard of it?
No.
It is where you go to have all of the delights of the sins. I myself am of the House of Gluttony. So, a knight such as yourself, I'd be more than happy to bring you back. Show you the ways of the world. The true ways of the world. The only way to live in a city. Perhaps after this, if you're interested, come back with us.
The kitty.
He looks to you and leans in. Kind of taps you on the shoulder. Sir Morgan and I are very busy. I'm afraid she has no time for that. But we will be in the party soon. Let us finish organizing our things down here.
Can we bring our swords?
No. You see both of the lords smile. The one that's been quieter, the elf, leans across. Do ignore for Lord Verco. He likes to collect people. Likes to bring them into his city and show them what delights it has. And though they are delightful, I imagine knights as yourself have much finer business here.
I agree. We do also like collecting people.
I've heard. Chapter of the Vault Keepers. Legendary around here. That Verlin chapter of knights which you should always fear. What business do you have here? Sir Kittic just kind of nods his head. We are invited.
Formality.
Formality indeed. My name is Lord Phaelus Latralea. I come from Abyssin.
She's like hang her head low. Rise back up.
Maybe I'll ask more about your happenings. I am rather interested in just how it's all done. Once we get up to this dance hall, of course. My lady waits for me. Lord Verco.
Very good.
Sir Morgaine. Sir Kittic. You see the Lord kind of turn and walk. Lord Verco, take up my offer, if you wish. And then kind of almost rushes to be alongside Lord Latrella and heads up the staircase towards the main hall. You see Sir Kittic goes,
Couldn't you have brought someone else?
no. There is no one else that has your gift.
She would hand him her sword.
He takes it and kind of wraps it around kind of a cloth, walks up to one of the guards, hands it across. You can see he hands both your sets of armor there as well. Walks over towards you after like hearing a little conversation from us. Their armory is right next to the dance hall. So, we ever need to break in and grab something. Otherwise,
How convenient.
I need your eyes.
Well, that's all I have left, so... Took my sword, my armor.
My friend, if you were only your sword and your armor, you would not be part of our chapter. Up there, I'll try and deal with the formalities as much as possible to keep you less distracted. Just keep your eyes out for them.
Very well. She would, hook her arm inside his.
Kyver willing, he begins walking towards the staircase. They won't be here. We'll find them on the road. If they are here, we'll deal with it covertly and try not to draw too much attention. Our business is not... It's not legal, but it is not encouraged.
He'd keep nodding.
Ascends the stairs, begins walking upward. Back in the town, approaching the kind of front of the doors, Uridot has now kind of led your group over towards the main hall, where you can see no one's lining up over this portion. Whereas where Sir Morgaine is, you've got just series of soldiers and lords and like ladies who are waiting at the top, kind of being passed in, and their names being written off a list, or some of them being escorted in as they recognized. But this door is kind of closed off. A portcullis is down, and some guards wait by it. The hall's closed off. You see, Orodot. Nonsense, dearie. I'm Dasquad Orodot. We're here for it. Invitations were told to go around the other side. Were they now? Well, that's a shame, because we're at your door. All right. Open up, then. Looks across your group. All 4 of you. Good, you can count. Yes, what do you need of us? Your weapons and your armor. Any concealed weaponry, please. She begins kind of unhooking her sword, undoing the studded leather. We'll do as they say. Looks back to you 3.
All right, but for the record, some of this stuff is I'm a doctor. Some of this stuff is actually gonna need to stay on me for their sake.
Is it stuff that can harm someone? Hurt someone sharp?
No. Just some tools.
Let's have a look then.
Yeah, Carlisle will take out the only real sharp thing he has, like some syringes and stuff, a knife, a bone saw, fucking his like big staff that he has, which is really just like a big IV drip stand.
Holy
so
shit.
most of this stuff may come up at some point.
Roll a persuasion check.
Amazing.
As a nat 20.
God damn.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of looks good to the other guard who's just unsure of what like a doctor needs. All right, you can keep that. That's fine. Next,
Thank you very much.
for the sake of the audience as well, what class are you playing? I forgot to ask you. Three.
Carlisle is a rogue.
He kind of takes across Urodot's stuff. Another guard comes over and starts kind of compiling it together, wrapping it into a bag to be moved to the armory. Looks across to UV. Weaponry. Urodot kind of looks nervously over towards you. And nods her head.
He'd see a huge sword on her back, like unwieldy. How does someone that is 5'2", frail looking, carry this frickin' plank of metal?
What is it?
We require your weaponry. They'll be kept in an armory nearby. It'll be safe. It's for the safety of the lords. Especially that thing
Just
at the back.
stares at him blank-faced.
Oh no.
Urodot steps forward.
We are from so very far. See, we're not used to these customs, so give her a moment. V, dear, weapon will be
Yes.
kept safe. It is perfectly all right. There's a bunch of harmless old men and women up there.
You shouldn't underestimate people for their age.
She'll very hesitantly grab the hilt of her sword. She's gonna glance at Carlisle for like a nod of approval, like, is this
He's gonna,
really okay?
He's gonna be nodding with a smile.
Okay. And she's gonna remove it off her back really fast, like aggressively, not thinking anything of it. And then
You see him kind of step forward to take it. Like, nervously. Right. Be kept safe. Leans his hand up.
If it is not kept safe, I will tear your insides out.
Such a joke, RV. Roll an intimidation check. You can do it with strength.
okay. Just a pure strength check. Should I do?
Do
Or
you have proficiency
this is
in
my
intimidation?
first, I do, yeah.
You can do a pure strength check. Just add your proficiency, which will be a +2. So whatever you roll now, add
Okay,
a +2 to it.
perfect. Okay. 23 plus 2, 25.
Guys are all ridiculous. Of course, I'll keep it at the nicest spot. And he like takes the sword. And you see kind of immediately like it kind of falls down. But he pushes all his strength into keeping it from dropping to the ground. Carries it over and places it onto the table. Like physically like sweating and gulps from it. You know, the guard steps
She's
forward.
gonna like, under her breath, say to Carlisle,
I memorized his scent, so I will find him if we do not get
Yeah.
our things back.
I don't doubt it. I think our stuff's gonna be fine, but you know, for what it's worth, and Carlisle hands you his bone saw, you can just hang on to that. Maybe it'll feel better to have something on.
Oh, this will do. Yes.
she's gonna tuck it under.
The other guard looks to you, Desmond. And you, sir, come on.
I guess I better come with you then, because opens his duster, shows there's nothing there. My whole body's a weapon. Starts to sort of shadow box a little bit.
Right, and you're at your weapons, sir. Have you got any weapons on you?
I carry nothing on me. Dangerous, that is.
Are you deceiving?
No.
Okay, you
I
got
have
no
no
weapons?
weapons. Like, I have no physical weapons on me.
Okay. He goes. All right. Comes over and just kind of like has a little look around you. All right. Well, Dust Watcher, you're free to go in. He goes, oh, good. They pull the portcullis up. And you see a couple of the guards carrying your wares and start bringing them in. And then the door comes down afterwards. And Uridot heads up towards the main hall.
Is that a raised hand?
It is.
I think Bree
Really
has a
quick.
question.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, really quick. I am a barbarian, just to...
Yes, sorry. I
Oh,
was literally had in my
yes.
mind. I was like,
Yes,
I'm going
yes,
to ask
yes.
you
Then we'll just leave it at that. I'm a barbarian.
I am an artificer.
Nice. Sick.
Now, up in the actual hall itself, you'd go up there, the three of you, with Uridot. Morgaine, you'd be heading in there as well. And inside, in the actual kind of like hall, watching as various kind of lords and knights start filtering in. Next to you, Olimar. Sorry, next to Olimar is you, Zonia, and you two are kind of stood there watching as various ones are coming in. You would see as Ableton, an elderly man wearing kind of fine clothing himself, but that more of a kind of like the lord of the servants, more so than kind of complete fineries. Steps over towards you. You are wanted in the other rooms to wait until your introductions.
Of course. She'll look to Olimar.
He nods his head. Ableton, are they to announce it now? I'm not to tell you of how it is all being introduced, just do as you're told, Lord Olimar, as your father requests. It is his word, not mine. Looks towards you, Zonia.
She is standing up straighter than she has this whole time. She is perfectly like...
Just waiting to be guided by Olimar.
You know where to go. He kind of steps over to the side after watching you for a moment. Olimar goes, starts walking round to the back. You can see they've kind of got these side rooms and halls where they're preparing other ladies and lords' seats, and this is where the kind of most known of the lords go, and nobles go. All of the knights and kind of general invitations that have gone out to the Dust Watcher and whatnot are brought into this main dance hall. You see this great kind of glamorous room with pillars that reach the ceiling. It goes up tall. A staircase that leads at the back with doors open, leading up towards the feasting hall. But this one has music prepared. You can hear light music being played over in the corner. Knights and other people are kind of gathered in the room with yourself, Sir Morgaine, Carlisle, V, and Desmond. All of you are kind of gathered in this room. Probably a good 30 to 40 people in here by now. You're being ushered to stand and leave a kind of a walkway in the center, allowing others to kind of come in. In the side room, you're waiting alongside Olimar. And he looks to you. We'll be called in last. It'll go through all of the other regions first, and it'll come to us, and it'll go through my father and everyone, and they'll save us to last because it is a spectacle.
Be all right. It's okay.
I'm not nervous. I'm not.
No, of course you're not.
She'll pat his hand.
He takes a glass of wine, kind of knocks back. Okay. Just wait our turn. And in the dance hall, you see as the kind of throat's cleared, Ableton stands up onto this kind of almost like podium in the corner and stands. A sound has kind of resounded out, almost like this drum, to silence the hall. As you're kind of gathered there, you'd see as Iridot kind of folds her arms and looks to you, Carlisle, V, and Desmond.
Oh, what's this next bit? This is where we'll get all of the southern lords and ladies will be introduced, and you are to clap. But gently, not aggressively.
I'm looking to you, V.
So, clap, but not aggressively. So, like a slow kind
Gentle.
of clap.
Almost
right.
like you're looking at something divine.
All right.
After this,
Yeah, I
don't
think we
worry.
can handle that.
Kind of stares at V.
Yes?
I
Oh,
have
just
never.
don't clap, my dear. Just maybe stand a little bit
Maybe
behind us.
we get a practice round in. You think anyone would mind if we did a little practice round?
I'd rather keep the eyes off us, so right?
I've never clapped before.
Well, you kind of slap your hands together, but not too hard.
She has
So-
huge fucking monster claws.
As soon as you lift up the claws, maybe you don't clap. Maybe we keep you not clapping.
Let's just
For
stand
this.
I will
behind us,
not
dearie.
be doing the clapping.
She puts her hands back down on her
Iridot
side.
kind of almost just steps a little bit in front of you to block out your hands. And just waits at the front as the kind of long carpet has been laid out to allow those who are coming in from the main doors. Ableton stands up, the Lord Advisor to this. Knights, lords, ladies, please give a welcome to our honored guests this evening. Hailing from the blisters, the doors open. Keeper Iso and Arcanist Jontor. In walks side by side a half-orc with a solemn, cold expression, wearing a long gown with a three-eyed jellyfish embedded onto it. She walks alongside a very cockily, kind of broadened-haired gnome who kind of stands there wearing a robe himself, tightened around him, a little too tight for his body. He kind of comes in smug at the gentle claps that are coming across the hall. They wander down. From Horizon's Rest, Lady Tugul Falls. You see Solo coming in on her own, walking through, is not in fineries at all, kind of almost this kind of very basic linen, a little bit too large for a goblin lady. Kind of steps in, already a drink in her hand. She kind of drinks and just walks a little faster than the pace of the clapping in the song. And just wanders and just kind of raises her glass and kind of laughs to herself. A series of others are introduced at this point. Those from Neverset, the capital of the entire region. Or the general continent's capital, the former home of the monarchy. You see various kind of lesser lords and ladies start to spiral through, coming from there. And then various lords and nobles from all weathers. Among them, you would see a gnome, beside him a knight, a Goliath. The gnome kind of steps forward, looking forth. They're introduced from being from Songrest. Sir Narian and Loramil. He's kind of looking around, trying to find someone in the crowd, but carries on walking. Up next, from last, Lord Vithelin of House Tyran and Lord Kalis of House Dern. And walks a slightly shoddy but well-groomed human with a beard and a quite plump, greyish-furred tabaxi beside them as they wander down. From the Strifelands, Sir Gore of House Brinnin, Lady Kresh, and Lord Waithamin, a broad Leonin in an uncomfortable tailored tunic, a shy 20-old half-elf woman with red hair and a yuan-ti with a smug expression, his snake-scaled skin across his forehead and brow. They wander through. From the Bay of Progress, Tavian Winter, winner of the Baylor's Award, and Guildmaster Rollick Oxmold. A handsome human walks alongside a dwarf with reddened, fluffed-up hair, braided awkwardly. From the Gap, Highwatch Moyles, Horse Lord Edranok, Lady Indrosa Avalis. And walking through, you would see a bearded centaur, also wearing a tunic on the upper half, but again too tight from an owlin walking with a stick. The lord from earlier, the pink-skinned elf, walking alongside a lady. OG, would you like to describe your character?
Yeah, okay. So, at first, you're not really sure what you see. A figure, skin the color of like bones bleached in the sun. Her hair is jet black, and it's swept up into this like very elaborate and really ridiculously perfect updo. She stands generally about 5'10", but she's about 6 feet tall right now. She's very willowy, and her posture is like what's more straight than like ramrod straight. Like it would not be straighter. Her gown is glittering black at the bottom, and tendrils of this black kind of rise up from the hem in a really unsettling way, like, I don't know, horror stories of tentacles creeping out of like darkness or the depths of just somewhere. Maybe worse than that. They fade away to the same white of her skin at the collarbone. And if she didn't seem so calm, you might think she was kind of being consumed by this dress. Her eyes are fully black, even the sclera, all black. And if you're paying close attention, you see that her smile never reaches those eyes unless she's looking at the man on her arm. You take another look at her face, and she's got a mask on. Is it moving? It's the same jet black as her hair, and like the tendrils on her gown. It kind of almost like oozes out of her hair to cover her face in a half mask. And as you take a moment to look, you see that the mask kind of pulsates slightly and writhes, almost as if it were aware of everything in the room. That couldn't be right, could it?
You hear as the kind of claps are going across the room, and people are kind of lining up. They're preparing to like begin a dance. You can see they will line opposite each other when they get to the end.
Excuse me.
You hear kind of whispered underneath a smile from the Lord at your side. It's all very elegant, isn't it?
You don't like a party?
I don't like this part of it. All
I
seems rather
definitely
pompous.
don't like this party. Look at them all.
Yes. They stare with smiles, but they can't wait
I
to
hate
insult
every
us
one
behind our
of
backs.
them.
Everyone?
Just going to have a night, not you, dear. Just going to have a nice dinner. It's not going to be that nice. We'll do some dancing, get trod on, I'm sure. Then we can be done. Go
Well,
home.
yes, about that. See, I will be leaving fairly shortly into the event.
Her grip on his arm just tightens for a millisecond. You are leaving me here.
I have business, I'm
Alone.
afraid.
Fantastic. Of course you do.
Yes.
Yes.
Good to see you as well. Well, we'll talk
Did
about
you
it
wait
more.
to tell me till right now so that I had to smile when you told me?
Enjoy their claps, dear. Enjoy their claps.
And
he continues
Let's
walking.
go, Doug.
Towards the end. So you're both facing away from each other. Oh, towards each other, but standing at opposite ends. The introductions continue. The Harvest Land, Weeping Hills, and City of the Seven all introduced next. A halfling, tiefling, druid, a gluttonous Dampir from before, a couple of wizards, one that you would recognize, Lawkeeper Linnea, a half-elf that you'd recognize in Drasa. All of them being introduced one after the other. The hall goes a little quieter as Ableton says, From Verland, Lord Alistair Ordo, second son and heir to Gavel Rock, hero of the Battle Luden Vel, and Knight of the Chapter of the Hammer. Stepping through the door this time, accompanied a little bit behind him by a tabaxi wearing one of the only people who was allowed to wear kind of leathered armor inside here as well. Dark, kind of bluish black fur to the tabaxi, her eyes scanning the audience, her eyes wide watching, almost like a cat hunting. But here in front of him, an Asimar. And in the land of Hyoma, Asimar are far greater. The ones who have sunblood in them, those who descended from those angelic sun children. You see that his hair kind of drapes down in a beautiful blonde, ending in white strands that seem to almost glow at the tips. Not just seem, they do glow. They offer a soft little kind of glowing green light. He walks through, his eyes emerald green that match that light, and smiles, and you can see people almost fawning over him, watching him, amazed by the sight. Clearly, the most, probably the highest ranking lord that is here and invited. He bows his head and continues walking onward. And finally, our gracious hosts, Lord Elandris and Lady Dire Lepos, their son Soman and wife Rosella of House Clara, their daughter Lady Dela and her husband Sir Televo of the Chalice Gardens, and finally Lord Olimar, their fourth son, and his wife-to-be, Lady Zonia Tinir. Gasps and kind of discussion starts going on throughout the crowd, and you can see as the hosts all step up, almost like in a triangular formation, they begin walking down, nodding. You see Olimar walking beside you. He kind of gulps and goes a little bit pale after he hears it read out. The discussion
She'll
going.
sort of like grip his hand, almost like just push through, bud.
The rest of them, you can see, or this family, especially from the Lord and Lady, they are elven in nature with kind of oranging black hair that kind of writhes down. They wear these autumn and kind of summer gowns. All of them wearing this kind of very kind of cultural elven clothing. The summer clothing almost kind of adorned with flowers, which almost look actually like threaded bare that kind of drape down to kind of create the a fake visage of leaves as sleeves. And all of them kind of in unison as they kind of drift down the staircase. It is official then, my lady. And you wander down until they push opposite one another. The first dance will begin. Ableton steps off and it begins drifting as all of the others are forced to watch. The rest of the group all kind of stood on the sides watching as the lords and ladies have their first dance. A very dramatic affair of well-coordinated and something that you can see most of them have practiced. Only those who actually wanted to dance are dancing. Some of the others have kind of drifted back into the crowd. So I ask you, Indrasa and Zonia, are you two dancing?
I think for Olimar's sake, to make sure that he is doing as he should, that they would dance.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Phalus is still there, Indrasa will.
Yeah. He dances with you and kind of talks to you during it. I'm sorry, my dear. It'll be fast. I'll be back on the morrow.
All right. I'm sure I'm going to have a scintillating time. It's going to be fascinating conversation.
Yes.
Can't wait.
I mean, besides, you know how
Did you see who's here?
Who are you referring to? Kind of steps back and forward and kind of spins with you.
The lawkeeper.
Oh, that's the one you spoke about.
Yes.
Need me to poison her wine?
Oh, that would be wonderful. I'm joking, don't do it.
I know. Couldn't risk it.
Wait, what if it was like a little bit that just made her kind of sick? Don't,
I was
it's
joking.
fine. I know.
The dance kind of comes to a stop. And you see the crowd start mingling and lords and walking over to get drinks and people start talking and walking around, discussing with each other, talking kind of conversations that mean nothing. Weighted conversations of Oh, we love what you've done with the castle walls. It's beautiful decorations here and just kind of general discussions as all of you have kind of set into your own mingling affairs. You can, at this point, walk and talk to whoever you wish, do whatever you wish, and wander the dance hall. What are you all doing? Who wants to say what you'd plan to do?
Yep.
I can go, or yeah, you go, Sam.
So Morgaine shifts uncomfortably in this violet dress and keeps the cape low. Nothing. Everyone here is positively mundane.
No.
Can we leave?
No. We must stay now that we've accepted. It'll be over in the morning. We can, once the party comes to a close, slip out and we can sleep on the road.
Oh, thanks.
I was sure they'd be here. No matter. On the morrow,
Perhaps I should wander?
And you see another lord go, is that so Kitik?
Yes, wander.
That's my cue. She'll pat him on the shoulder and walk through the crowd.
Yeah,
but the way she's navigating through the crowd would not be typical of a blind person. She's avoiding people as she goes.
Yeah, you end up kind of wandering through and kind of meandering through the crowd, kind of trying to get a general shift for things. Zonia, what are you doing?
I think at a certain point, I assume that she and Olimar are just kind of like walking around as casually as possible with people potentially coming up and like congratulating them and things. Yeah.
You'd see one of the people that comes up is Lady Dela, and she kind of steps over the sister. Oh, sweet brother. Kind of leans in, kisses him on the cheek twice, and then leans into you, laughs under her breath, and kisses you on the cheek twice.
so wonderful to have you part of the family.
Thank you very much, Lady Dela.
No thanks. These past 5 years have been wonderful getting to know you.
Haven't they just? You've always been so kind to me.
So kind. And you, dear sweet brother, I thought the day would never come. Finding someone that actually looks your direction.
He just kind of nods his head. Yes, good to see you as well, sister.
I must get on now. There are so many people who want to speak to us. Oh, but it is your big day, isn't it?
She kind of wanders off. You see her husband kind of flank her. He scolded face the entire time, just not moving, kind of doing dutiful. The knight walks beside her and wanders. Olimar goes, I want to go get us drinks. And walks off into the crowd, leaving you for a moment, a bit flushed. You hear a voice behind you. You know, when this all goes through, that you have the most sway in this family. And kind of flanking you is Lord Arister Order, the other ASMR, kind of stepping up.
My lord.
Nonsense that, Arister.
Arister, then.
Look around, you see all the eyes on us.
Unfortunately, yes.
Every one of them right now is talking about how Lord Lepos, under their breaths, can't believe a lesser house like this has actually got sunblood in them. Or soon to be. Vultures, all of them. They look at our hair and our eyes. And they see legacy. Huh. Nods his head towards one.
They don't understand the weight of it, do they?
Ignores your question, looks directly at you. That's why this house. Because they saved Songrest. I don't buy it.
This is not really a conversation to be having here, is it?
Who's going to tell me otherwise? Why this house of all houses? Did you really fall for that boy?
She just smiles.
Well, know this. Everyone around here may be vultures, but it is the family you have to look out for. I don't know how well you get on with them, but by the sounds of things, not well. But soon, when you are wedded to him, there'll be no need for the older brothers. Fourth son, Was that fifth or sixth in line with the sisters? You go straight to the top. Your blood is the only one they want. And that makes you enemy number one for the rest of the family.
Is this supposed to be a pep talk, my lord?
It's just a talk.
And I appreciate the company.
Do you? I've been nothing but nasty.
I wasn't going to say it.
Speak freely to me. I couldn't give a shit about all of the fine talking of false liars around here. I'd rather be told I was a bastard to my face. Besides, I'm a truthful bastard. Crown Heart Hall. You are above it.
I appreciate it.
I
do my best here.
We all play our
It
part.
is difficult, as you say.
I imagine so.
But perhaps that will change
Oh, it certainly will.
once I'm married.
Once we're married, you'll be the most powerful couple in the entirety of the town. Everything you say will be done. Just make sure to find yourself a nice bodyguard. You can have eyes up looking towards the lord of the house, Alandris, over at the far end, who is being flanked now, coming out of the crowd, by a large bugbear, one of the only ones wearing armor, one of the only ones who's allowed a weapon in here. And kind of stands watching around. Orm, isn't it? That guy? The bugbear.
Yes. If we are speaking freely, I don't want anyone anything like Borm.
No?
He is cruel in ways I can't quite possibly explain in this sort of company.
Oh no, I've heard. Always wondered if I could take the bastard.
Well, if you ever try, I will be rooting for you.
Good. Well, I wish you and your future well.
Thank you.
Bear many children for the House of Lepos. He kind of sips from his wine and then wanders off into the crowd, disturbed by another person or two.
I think she would, if Olimar isn't back yet, she would sort of scan to see if she could find Lorimil.
Okay. Yeah, over in kind of a cornering area of the actual party, you can see kind of looking around a little nervously. It's his eyes light up as you come towards the gnome, who kind of stands there from song rest. You can see his clothing a little tight. He's going to be pulling at his collar to his neck's a little red. He looks up here. Handsome for a gnome as well. Blonde kind of hair and kind of a charming face, but looks kind of nervous now that hides the kind of charming look. Dear, are you okay? How long's it been?
Too long. Sorry.
Okay. He takes your hand. He kind of leans down and kisses it. Looks up at you. Appearances? We wanted to come.
Appearances.
But you know, we're all thinking of you. Here for support. You see the knight
I am.
kind of standing behind Noreen. He kind of just nods to you.
It is good to see you.
Are you well?
I am managing.
So are we. We thank you again for your sacrifice.
I don't know how much longer I can do this.
You must keep it up.
It is your duty. We are kind of holding stuff. My dear, it's such a big day. We are.
Yes.
Back home, we are thinking of you. Each
Thank
passing
you.
day.
Perhaps I will take a turn about the room later with my husband-to-be, and you may meet him.
I'd like to do. I'm sure he's kind. I've heard of the kindness of House Lepos.
Yes.
She'll give like one final squeeze and not wanting to like be too weird about how long she's being here. She'll sort of drift and continue to walk.
Meanwhile, your group, V, Carla, and Desmond, what are you all kind of doing? Urodot just kind of turns to you and just says to enjoy the party. I'm going to try and recruit a little bit, see if some of these lords will spend some of their coin on sending some of their youngest furthest from the line up north. Do check food.
All right.
They'll keep refilling it. You can eat whatever you like here, drink whatever you like.
All right.
Wanders
I mean,
into
I
the
was
crowd.
going to recommend maybe we find a place to sit down, get a little bit out of the middle of all of this, and maybe then find us some drinks or something.
Yeah, all right.
Where are the tables or anywhere to sit?
You would see over in kind of like around the areas of the room, like in the kind of corners of the room, you see these almost like benches that are laid out against the walls. Beside the kind of candle setups and the drinks on tables that are kind of almost attached to the walls themselves and kind of fold down these like brickwork tables. It's all in like kind of the corners where most people aren't really talking. The main kind of circular area of like the dance floor is kind of being prepared now for like the next dancers that come by. But you'd find seating that is not really occupied, a little quieter to one side.
Well, over there it looks just about open if we want to make our way over.
Now, does the food get served to us, or do we gotta get it?
I, frankly, have absolutely no idea.
I would look for like a bar, or if there's people walking around carrying drinks.
There are people walking around carrying drinks, and little bits of food, niblets to grab.
All right, as one walks by, I would just pick one up, just to hold in my hand.
Yeah. You pick up this almost like very small, like it looks like a clamshell. It's designed to look like one, but you can see it's made of like a chocolate, and on the inside it's almost like this praline. On the inside, like a praline pearl. It begins already melting a little bit in your hand.
I don't think I want that. I'll set it back down, pick up a drink instead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's all wines and kind of like almost this like very kind of tangy spritz like liquid. But they hand them in these kind of almost like champagne like flutes of kind of goblets.
All right, I'm ready to sit if you are.
All right, well, I will lead the way. And Carlisle will he's got a lot of bulk on him from all, like, literally nothing of his being, confiscated for him. And he's kind of bumping into people as he tries to push his way through, apologizing every
Just
time.
noisily clinking around.
People kind of
As
moving
we
away.
as we make our way to the table, V will look for anyone with like a tray of food or something.
Yeah, you see one kind of walk past, and it's kind of got all these small little like breads on them. You can see it's been dyed red, the bread, and like a small like pate over each of them. They kind of walk by. Excuse me. As they try and pass
She's
by.
gonna grab the whole tray from him. I need this. She's gonna walk away.
You see the guy kind of looks around, looking for his like servant, the person that kind of organized the whole thing. Panicking as you kind of walk away with the whole tray.
If Carlisle heard that happen.
Yeah, roll a perception check.
13.
How loud were you being, V?
It was like a under her breath, but like threatening. So I mean, she's not being subtle.
So you'd hear, slightly under the breath, you'd see her kind of like snatch it and like turn around.
Oh, Carlisle's gonna loop back around, not gonna take the tray from V, but kind of walk up to the waiter and just be like, I am, listen, I'm sorry about that, but they do need it.
Oh, of course. My lord, of course. We'll get another tray out momentarily.
All right, thank you very much. And he's gonna give him like a couple silver.
Oh, thank you.
He kind of wanders off. Kind of looking down on the amount of silver you gave him, considering like he expects more from lords.
He doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
He doesn't know the amount they'd use.
Oh my god.
Damn, dude.
He wanders away, and you have yourself a tray full of these kind of like, it's bread wine, like hardened bread wine, stale bread wine, with like almost like this, similar to the bird that Sam's character would have had. This very plump bird that almost has like a pigeony like taste to it.
When they get to the table, she's just gonna stand and look at Carlisle as if like waiting to be told to sit.
Yeah, you can sit down whenever you want, V.
She sits down and puts the tray down.
And for the record, you don't need to wait up on anyone to sit down where you want to sit down.
I do not understand, but okay.
All right.
She always
Staring at me like that.
this aggressive about food?
Well, unless, correct me if I'm wrong, you've never been down to these parts, right, V?
No.
Where's V from? V?
She's gonna start eating. Just shoveling it in her mouth.
Maybe I'll ask you then. Where's V from?
Well, north-ish.
Just
My
north?
knowledge. V's not.
Or do you mean
talk.
north?
I mean north.
All right, I get you.
Would you like some of this? It's filling.
She says to Carlisle.
Well, yeah, I'd love some.
It's filling.
Do you, Carlisle's gonna look over to Desmond. This might come off as a little rude, so stop me if it is. Do you eat, food?
Oh no, I don't eat or drink. I carry, drinks occasionally because it makes you more approachable.
Right, yeah. All right.
See a guy holding the glass, you want to talk to him,
No.
Yeah.
Why
Are you
would I
talking to
want
me?
to talk to someone because they're holding a glass?
Hey, they can talk to me. You might think they're a little inebriated, a little looser lipped, Try to make friends with them.
What happens when the lips are loose?
Well, it's like a turn of phrase for like a little bit more keen to say things you wouldn't normally be willing to say.
Yeah, the words that are trapped inside, come out easier with looser lips.
Oh, right. My people have a phrase for this. When the blood gushes out of your guts and runs down to your legs. Like this, yes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's
I
about
understand.
right. You should,
gonna keep
well, at
reading?
least while we're around here, if you need to say anything like one of those turns of phrase, maybe stick with loose lips for now instead of going into details with anyone else about guts, blood, like gushing out of anyone or anything like that.
That's a good plan.
It is weird though, like you said before.
Yeah,
Weirdo.
people are gonna, what we think is normal from being up north all the time. Some of these people are a little too soft to handle guts pouring all over the place, or so I assume.
Very well.
As all three of you are kind of stood over there together, Morgane would kind of pop out of the crowd, and you'd have kind of circled the entirety of the room, going through a lot of it, finding no kind of sense of anything that you're searching for. And you'd come out into the open, and you'd see her step out. You sense that there are people over in the corner. You haven't really kind of checked over there. It's those three, kind of sat there together.
Okay. Morgane would. They're kind of like hidden from the dance floor.
Yeah, it's kind of like imagine being at like a school dance, and these are the people that have kind of gone off to the side over by like the tables that have kind of been pushed over to the side, and where some of the empty glasses are being put until they're being dragged away and whatnot. The quieter portion of the call.
Yeah, Morgan would approach, just to study them, and she would like linger on all of them a moment, and then she would say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize this table was taken."
Oh, well, you're welcome to sit down if you want. There's plenty of space.
Realizing that she's done 2 laps of the room and there's nothing, she would oblige.
I would lean over to Kyle and say, "See what I mean? Approachable."
Yeah. You reckon they clocked the cup?
Of course.
My thanks.
Excuse me. Did you see the glass in my hand? Try to approach by chance?
She would turn to you and smile. And it's like a pretty smile, but it's overshadowed by like this long-healed scarring from like her jaw to under the veil, and it's incredibly obvious she's blind. I'm afraid
Maybe
not.
She smelled it.
Yeah, maybe they smell the cup.
Or maybe they smell the fact that you smell like oil.
My apologies, ma'am. I didn't realize at first.
Oh, it's quite all right.
You're making your way around just fine, though, despite it.
Yes, you get used to it.
Impressive.
Forgive me, I'm Sir Morgaine.
Nice to meet you. I'm Carlisle Davenport. These are
Pleasure.
my friends.
Desmond.
And,
Elbow V.
She's just staring right at Sir
This is my friend.
She looks at Carlisle.
Who is
You
your
want me
friend?
You, in this situation, you are my friend that I'm introducing to someone else. If you'd like, I can also introduce you on your behalf, if that would make you more comfortable.
I am V.
Nice to meet you, V.
Is it nice?
It's a formality. Sorry, I'm not particularly good with faces, but I'll try to remember your names.
So, what brings you here to the banquet here?
Begrudgingly a formality. Yourself?
We're helping out the one of the folks from Hour Till Dusk, Erida.
Oh.
Making sure she makes it here in one piece and back again.
That's very kind of you.
Want a drink? Carlisle's gonna offer one of the drinks from the plate.
No, thank you.
I can get us a whole tray.
Groups start kind of spreading out and kind of moving to kind of start building up for the dance floor as well. Just to see what you two are doing, Andrasa and Zonia, where would you find you two right now?
Andrasa would have done a circuit, but in the exact politically optimal order. So she would have greeted her hosts first and then gone down the rank and made sure that she said hello to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Very studiously not avoiding the lore keeper. And I think once she was done with that, she would look to where the lore keeper is,
Mm-hmm.
and then just be opposite of that in the room
You see,
so that she could see her.
Felix stands beside you and he goes, I should leave.
Don't just sigh, just say it. You're just going to go now. That's fine. We've done the circuit.
You know how I feel about the food around here.
I know. It's all right.
I won't be long.
What?
It should take a day, my
Alright.
business, that's all.
All right, well, then we'll just meet. That's fine. I don't know how long I'll be here, but we'll find each other. That's all right.
As long as you'll be all right.
It's a party. What's going to happen?
I don't know, darling. Perhaps you'll be spoken to by an unkindly sort.
Hmm.
I'm more worried about what
Perhaps.
you'll do.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm at work.
Oh,
I'm not.
sure, that stopped you. He kind of leans in, he just plants
That's
a
fair.
kiss on your lips and leans back. There are a couple of knights around here.
Mm-hmm. There's always a couple of knights
No.
around. It's a hole.
He's kind of like starts scanning the room, but trying to look nonchalant. They're from the chapter of the Vault Keepers.
Oh, really?
No, not all, really. She's
Why are they here?
Good question.
She just looks mildly excited at this point,
No.
which she hasn't
He goes-
looked the whole
he looks at you
time.
and goes, that is why I should leave now.
Yes, that's a very good point, isn't it? I'm going to miss you so much. She kind of pats him on the shoulder and starts.
Yes, yes. But, you know, make friends with them. Do let me know.
Well, do tell me who they are, and I'll
Yes.
go say hello.
He scans, he sees Psychitic surrounded by some others. His eyes scan the room again. A few people part. He sees Morgaine sat with the crowd in the corner. That is one of them. That is the answer to the one over there. That one is more trained in politics. That one doesn't seem to be. They're politer.
Perfect.
Quiet. Do work some charm, dear. He leans your hand up and kisses your hand and goes, I'll see you in the morning.
All right.
Take care.
Have fun.
Slips into the crowd and moves away.
I would look for a glass of something to drink and make my way over to that table.
You'd see Andrasta approach.
Does Desmond still have a glass in his hand?
Yes, I was gonna lean over and say, now one is tense, but two, come on.
I will,
all right.
as I walk over, I will have a glass in my hand and I will just hold it up and nod at Desmond.
What brings you here?
Like a separate little party over here. I got tired of walking around.
Well, you're welcome to take a seat on over here if you like. Plenty of space and
Fantastic.
just getting a little bit away from all the bustle of all of that.
It can get a bit tedious, can't it?
Well, never actually been to one of these, but I'm already a little overwhelmed, to be honest.
Yeah. They're all like this. You don't miss much. I will take a seat, but again, so that I can see the lore keeper.
Yeah, you can see she just kind of doesn't even pay attention to you. Doesn't set one set of eyes upon you.
All right. Well, it's good to get off the feet anyway. How are we all this evening?
Oh, just doing great, honestly. Thank you for asking. My name's Carlisle.
Oh, Carla, it's lovely to meet you. I'm Indrasa.
Lovely to meet you too. And these are my friends here.
Desmond?
Desmond?
Is there something wrong with your throat?
No, see what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you a cue to introduce yourself.
I am V. Yes.
V. Lovely to meet you. I'm Indrasa. I'll look
Why
at...
does everyone say it is nice to meet you, lovely to meet you?
it's the thing that you say, like, to fill the space in between the other things that you want to say. It's just a formality. You say it, like, it just comes out.
I have met you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still more a
she's-
fan of the friendlier version of that, I think.
I mean,
She's gonna try to grab a tray of drinks.
Now
if
we've
there's
met.
someone nearby.
Yeah, you can see a guy's coming over with like mostly like half drunk drinks and whatnot because they're kind of put
Ew.
onto the table here. And
my God.
you can see he comes along, you grab that one and he goes, we are to put them in the.
I need this.
Can you bring a
Okay.
fresh tray round, dear?
Of course, Lady Andromeda.
Thank you.
He kind of wanders away.
What is wrong with this one?
Dear, it's that other people have already had those. That's a cast-off bit that they didn't drink. There's like saliva in there and backwash.
Not
You would
exactly
rather it
sanitary.
go to waste.
True. It is
She's gonna
wasteful.
start like pouring the glasses
God.
into like
Nice.
one.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure if I can advise you drinking that, V, but
I was making
more
it
power
for
to
you.
you. No,
Oh.
no, I'll wait for the next tray. Thank you, though. That's awfully thoughtful.
This wasteful behavior is blasphemous.
It's colorful. I'll take it.
That's
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
a
very
merger of
well.
about 4 different types of drinks.
it's blasphemous.
Yes.
Oh, dear, don't go to any more parties then.
Oh, what do you mean?
That's all of this is wasteful. That's all society is. That's all everything is waste.
We must
Watch
stop
the
them
next
all.
tray that comes by with a bite out of every canapé. More drinks will come by, half drunk. That's what people
Parties
do.
must not continue to exist.
I take a drink and I just nod. Huh. And you are? I say to Sir Morgaine.
Do I see anything when I look at Andrasa?
Androsta, have you got anything currently, any spells upon you, any magical things upon you?
You do. You would see, I guess, 3 things? Yeah. The mask.
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing a black velvet cloak that's clasped at her shoulders. Looks like it's part of the tendrils then flow down. And I guess her general self. I can DM you if you want, so I can tell you what I'm trying to hint at.
Throw me a DM. I can give him the
All right.
information. That would be, I believe. Let me double check. You'd get this kind of like just generally over her. You'd get this kind of essence of blue.
Okay. Yeah. As the first interesting thing she's seen
Mm-hmm.
at the party, Morgaine would perk up. Morgaine, pleasure to meet you.
Oh, good to meet you.
Extend a hand.
So do you all know each other? All came together?
Just met.
Oh, fantastic. Takes another drink. You know they're gonna start, like, more dancing. So do you all dance?
Oh, no.
You're in the right spot to sit out then. That's good. It can go on for a while.
Yeah, that was honestly the plan, was to hunker down somewhere and stay around here until this whole thing's over with.
You don't sound very excited to be here. Why did you come?
Well, I came to help out a friend of mine or a doc. Make it here in one piece and back again.
Oh, well, that's very nice.
Once we're done, I'll be quite glad to be out of all this. A little too much noise.
Understood. Oh, well, wait, no, you said you weren't all together. So you're here to help a friend. How about the rest of you?
The big one's acquainted with that one. And, I was just invited because I tend to get invited to these things.
Do you? You've just got one of those faces. You're just one of those people.
Yeah, my name goes around. People get excited. Want me to be there,
You're like the life of the party. Why are you sitting in a corner then? You should be gallivanting around.
It's a little too exciting right now. I wait for things to die down so I could be,
Smart.
there to spice it up again.
Interesting.
Oh, and a question for you, Andressa. What
Yes.
class are you playing?
Oh, I forgot. I am I'm a Shatterkai wizard.
I haven't missed anyone else's classes, have I? No, I think
I don't
so.
think so.
You're good now.
Meanwhile, whilst you're talking, Zonia, you can see they're prepping for a particular type of dance. It's all starting up soon. What are you up to at the moment?
I don't think she is in the mood to do another dance after that conversation. And I think she would wind up sort of trying to figure out a way to sort of slip off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Which, would probably take her near the table that everybody else is at.
Yeah. You'd see this kind of oddly kind of just like outfitted crew over in the corner in this kind of quiet corner.
Yeah, I think she would probably have a moment there where she makes eye contact with someone not at the table, and it seems like they're about to talk to her, and she'll redirect to the table and walks up and goes, "I'm very sorry. Could one of you pretend that you are desperate to talk to me right now?"
I've been waiting to tell you congratulations. You must be so excited.
Thank you very much. And she'll she'll sit down.
Gosh, I can't wait to hear all about all the planning.
You see,
Yes.
there's a moment where a couple of lord and ladies step forward to kind of get you and kind of slip back up into the crowd, hoping they can catch you later.
Yeah.
I'll just tip my glass towards her.
Thank you.
This is too much now.
These.
Desmond sets his drink down. He's.
I wasn't expecting such a crowd to come by. Not that I'm complaining.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I imposed. And she'll start to stand up.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Not a problem at all.
Okay. I'm afraid my cup is quite empty, so to speak.
You around. You're not going
Trust me, I know. So, I'm very sorry. What were you all talking about?
Well, actually, why we were all here, but I suppose yours is pretty obvious.
Yes, I live here, don't I?
Congratulations. It's lovely. The walls are beautiful.
Yeah,
The walls are beautiful, aren't they?
it's a real nice place here.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. I'm Carlisle.
Carlisle, it's very nice to meet you as well. Zonia.
Interesting.
Desmond.
Desmond.
V is just staring at Zonea intensely. Her pupils super large.
Oh no, moth
Just-
to light.
Really?
Oh my
Just
god, she's glowing and everything.
Yup.
It's so cute.
Her little antenna are back, when a cat is about to pounce, their pupils go big, their ears go back. Her antenna are back, and she's just
Is she all right?
A Oh, B, are you all right? Are you
What? She glows. She glows.
yeah,
Yes, Asma do glow, much like the Lord, and she'll gesture to the other Asmar Lord.
This must be a test. I must pass.
A
Um,
test. There's a
my name is
test.
Zonia.
And she's gonna try not to look at you.
I am V.
She's like staring at the table.
It's just nice to meet you, V. And then
I
she'll
have
look at
met
Morgaine.
you.
I would say you passed the test right there. You did very good that time.
Sensing
Much
it's her
smoother.
cue, she'll say, Morgaine. Sir Morgaine.
Sir Morgaine, lovely to meet you.
Well, we make a happy little crew of misfits over here, don't we?
Yeah, I'm hoping no one else comes back because we are starting to run out of seats, though.
You just push those chairs to the other table and then no one can come over.
It's all right, I won't be able to sit here for very long.
Are you quite all right? Do you need
Yes,
something?
no, I'm not used to talking to this many people is all.
Oh. It's really boring. Usually they just come in clumps, though, so you can just say the same thing over and over. And
You would think that, but then your wedding is announced, and it's suddenly like everyone has to talk to you just now.
I imagine that they're trying to curry favor, no?
Potentially.
That's how it works.
You would see the servant come over with the drinks, laying them down, and start kind of placing them out in front of you on like the small kind of like table just to your side, and start placing out one drink for each of you. If there's anything else,
Do I know this servant?
it's one of the ones who kind of has been brought in from inside the town or like the lower ends in the kitchens.
Okay.
You might have heard seen him in passing. His name is Talal. Talel. Talal.
Okay. No, thank you, Tal.
My lady, a dance is about to start. The dance of the last false fairy.
Of course. Yes. Thank you.
It is open to all. If you wish to dance, you can win a reward. I believe they are giving out a bag of beans.
Fantastic. I
Bag
love
of just normal old beans.
What?
No magical ones, sir, of course. For your collections, if you are a collector.
Well, I am. I think I might try.
Very well.
Is collecting beans a known hobby in these parts?
Like stamps.
Roll an insight check.
My
That
vast
is a
bean collection.
14.
Yeah.
With the 14, you'd recognize that he meant collecting magical items as opposed to collecting the beans themselves. You start to be, oh, okay, that's what he meant.
Carlisle catches
Is it-
himself before he asks about people collecting beans.
Is it just a grab bag then of beans? You don't know what
It
kind
is-
are in there?
It's a variety of beans. I'm not too sure. I can ask and inquire, of course.
No, that's all right.
Right, well, the dance is about to begin. Very shortly. If not, you can see it from the crowd as the illusion begins. He kind of leans up and
Well,
wanders back away.
I'm not much of a dancer, so I don't think I'm going to be getting any beans
You
today.
don't want any. You're not going to try for the beans, even.
No.
All right. If this is your first party like this, so don't you think you should give it the old try so you get the full experience? What if you win? Magic bean.
What if I win the magic beans and I could start up a nice bean collection, is what you're saying?
Do you know, I have a little garden at home. Gardening is quite good.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
I'm going to take this opportunity to find my
Mental
colleague, but it was lovely meeting you all.
Yes,
that's
I must
that's
also
actually a
step away.
smart idea.
Yeah.
I may need to go find a Radat soon. I don't know what they've been up to either. But, I
Morgan
may
will
actually take
excuse
you up on
herself.
that and go try to get those beans. Who knows? Maybe I'm better than I thought I was.
As you all start to kind of get up and split apart, you can see is now this like kind of an illusionary bubble is coming over the center of the room. You would see kind of for you, Morgaine, you would see almost this great big kind of purplish dome appear.
Mm.
And the music changes as they begin preparing for the dance of the last false fairy. You can see they start playing the music. You see people talking and discussing as others are kind of choosing to go and join the dance. Is anyone looking to join this dance?
Yes.
Okay.
Hell yeah, dude.
I can tell you it is a minigame.
We
So it's up
will
to you.
ask whoever's left at the table.
Will
Andrasa hasn't gotten
these
up yet.
beans make me stronger?
Well, it's a grab bag, dear, so we don't really know, but maybe.
There is a chance.
There is a chance. Carlisle would still be here as well because he would have asked Fee before he left if they wanted
Perfect.
to come with him or stay.
Awesome.
We have no idea what could be in those beans, to be honest. Frankly, that's the only reason I'm willing to even think about dancing for them.
I will participate if it means strength.
All right, well, then we better go ahead and make sure that we sign up. It's too late.
You
Morgaine will
Yeah.
dance with Kittik as well, as an ability, as a
you get in with
a
Kittik?
chance to converse. Yeah,
Yeah. You'd head over towards Kittik, who's kind of stood there, and he goes. He's like around
Classic
the other
political
side
ball
watching.
stuff.
Yeah.
He folds his arms and goes,
Have you found anything?
A little, not really.
he kind of gets suggested you want to go inside to talk, and he goes,
I want. Ah, sure. Go in there. I'll meet you in.
humoured that you're kind of entertaining the idea.
You'll approach the orb.
Okay. You can see it's filled with like illusions on the inside as well. Hard to see from the outside. The outside almost creates this. Well, actually, the outside orb wouldn't be purple for you. It would be. Let me double check.
This will become second nature to us both.
Yes, it
in
will.
Time.
It will. It will. It will. It will. Yes. Okay. I was double checking. I thought it was this grey. It's a grey orb with loads of purple swirls in between, in the inside.
Okay.
And you can see as like the kind of illusions are taking form on the inside. He goes,
Enter, I'll come in soon.
"You going?"
Me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who else is entering into the orb?
I will,
Sonia.
because I got
Carl
called out
Esmond
by the
would
servant.
Be approaching, but also simultaneously at the same time looking as he does for Iridat, because you'd want to check in before he.
You can see she is kind of like over to one side trying to convince a kind of a broader lord to like. You can see her kind of constantly drinking. She's drinking a little bit more than she probably should have.
Of course. Even your worst will do. Just send them up to the place. We'll give their families some coin. It is.
Kind of notices you come over.
Oh, Carlisle, you're making friends?
Oh yeah, honestly, it's been a little old party over there where we ended up sitting down. V and I were just about to give the dance there a go, possibly win some magic beans, start a collection.
Oof. I enjoyed the dance. I don't think I have it in me.
Check it.
But if you win those
There will
beans,
be
I'll
no
Check to make sure you're
enjoyment.
doing all right. Looks like you're doing great, honestly.
Yes, Lord Wraithrin here has already promised 20 of his fighting soldiers to come up northward to our city, and I'm convinced we
Oh,
to do
is
another
that
20.
so? Oh, that's awfully fucking kind of you, Lord.
Of course. Of course, 20. I thought we said 10,
Really, you
but
do?
sitting me. She's like, of course, yes. She kind of smiles over towards you and just kind of winks.
Enjoy the dance, my dear.
Yeah, enjoy whatever it is you two are doing. I'll catch up later.
For all those who are heading in, you'd see various illusions, some of yourselves in there, and some of all of the other people in kind of the dance hall, all kind of looking like everyone kind of came inside, even though you clearly saw not everyone did. You'd hear the voice over top say, kind of echoing through the room. So I was turning my... The dance of the last false fairy. The goal of the dance is to outperform your opponents and avoid performing in front of an illusion. The final dancer to remain wins. The dance will begin momentarily. You find everyone starts splitting off into pairs. Above board. The dance, yes.
I was gonna ask if
she's done.
I was gonna ask if before we actually do the dance mini game if we could pee.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
do you
yeah,
want
good
to?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah. I
please.
didn't even realize the
It's so
time.
bad.
I didn't even realize the time.
Me too.
Let's go ahead and let's do a little break now, and then we'll come back with a dance straight after. Go and enjoy your drinks, get your peas even, and go and get yourself a drink. That's what I was trying to say. Enjoy your peas, get yourself a drink.
That's your style.
Enjoy. Look, I'm going to break. I'm going to break. Whatever, man. Okay. We'll see you in like 5. And to all those waiting in chat, thank you so much for coming by. We're just halfway through the episode now. Let me quickly do a 3-minute ad break now to try and push back any ad rolls so they don't push into us. Been great. Yeah, it's a little bit of a different opening. What class am I? Upper. Lena, thank you so much for the 40 gifted. That's very sweet. I'm going to thank all the subs tomorrow, by the way, guys. But that is very kind. I just saw that come in. That's very, very sweet of you. Thank you, Lena. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming by. Where the hell is my... There it is. Okay, I'm going to push a 3-minute ad break so I can push back some of the pre-rolls, guys. Do you have any confirmation of anyone being evil? No. I'm going to get myself a drink. And we'll get back. You'll see this is, we went for a little different start, so it's going to be fun. Some interesting stuff to come. All right, be right back, guys. Oh, and when we come back, you also see a little bit of different thing on the overlay. Something new. Okay, chat, we're back. Let's bring things back up. Okay.
Insight check.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, wow.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm just moving the overlay thing around. We now have your character overlays here
Oh, awesome.
on the screen.
Look at that.
That's so cool. So official.
So that will update as you level up as well. So that means when you do level up, try and give me your levels ASAP. So, welcome back.
Okay.
The dance of the last false fairy was about to begin. Yes, you had a
Yes, I
question.
have a question before we start.
Mhm.
Yes, Andrasa has not yet joined.
Mhm.
She's going to look around the room to see who isn't joining before she makes her choice.
Okay.
So,
Considerably, most of the audience is not joining. Is there anyone in particular that you're looking to see isn't joining? Because I have right now
yes.
55
So,
NPC names.
obviously, she's going to check the lore keeper.
She would not join.
She's going to check anyone else from the Gap.
The centaur doesn't join, but the owlin does.
And then she's going to check the entire host family.
None of them join.
Okay. She's going to sit out.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, no, she'll sit out.
Well, when I say entire host family actually not joining, I would say none of the primary family, so none of the major daughters and sons, their partners would.
Okay.
I imagine we'd have. Let me get their names. You'd probably have Dotha of House Veta, who's a tiefling. Sir Terrival of the Chalice Gardens, and Rosala of House Clara all joined, I imagine.
Okay.
But the primary house is kind of expected to kind of sit up there and wait.
Sure. She's going to sit out, I think.
Okay. Then, for everyone else, is everyone else joining? It's a mini game. I will post the rules to you, but I'll read them to you. Well, I can post the rules now, so you can like follow along. Sorry if the format comes weird in our little group chat, but here we go. The dance of the last false fairy. Your job is to try and outperform everyone whilst avoiding performance in front of an illusion, or you lose. It begins with me rolling a d20. On a 1 to 5, your opponent will be an illusion. You will not know this. This increases by 1 each round, the chance, but on a nat 20, the NPC tries to do an investigation check on you and fails. This becomes relevant in a second. You now get to choose if you want to do an investigation check, or a deception or insight roll. If you do a performance check against an illusion, you will lose. That's part of the rules. So you skip to your choice. Say you go investigation. If you do the investigation, you give up your chance to deceive your opponent with your movements. And instead, your focus is trying to see through the illusion. After this roll, you'll skip to the performance check. The illusion's DC is 10, increases by +1 each round. If you successfully realize there's an illusion, it means you don't have to perform, and then you'll get through to the next round. If you go straight to the roll-off, both myself and you choose insight or deception without telling the other. We proceed to roll and reveal. I always reveal second. If we both choose the same skill, no bonuses are given. But if you choose opposites, the greater number gains a bonus in the performance check. After this, we skip to the performance check. Illusions will always pick the same skill as you. So what that means is sometimes it might just be the fact that I chose it, or I am bluffing and pretending, or I'm bluffing and I didn't roll and there's an illusion. Performance check is a performance check straight up. But if you won the roll-off, you get a D8 to your performance check. But if you do the investigation check, you didn't have a chance to learn anything of your opponent, they gain a 1d6 against you, and the higher roll wins. You can choose at any point not to do the performance check if you're just wanting to wing it as an illusion. There's a lot of little mini rules there. It'll make sense once we start. But is there anything that you're curious about now?
What happens if you're out? Do you leave the bubble?
You leave the bubble. You kind of exit in the bubble. But you won't realize other people.
I DM'd you, Joe.
I imagine I know what this DM's about. And
wait a minute.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I'll say this. You don't really see you don't know who's real in there with you at the moment. So, if there's no questions about the minigame, other than that, who would like to go first?
Sure.
I'm going to make you go second, Sam, because your rules are a little different. Just so others can understand what's going on as we go.
Yeah, that makes sense. I go last if you want. That makes sense.
That could work, yeah. Okay. So, did you say, Dodger, you wanted to go first?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to roll a hidden d20. Let me just check to make sure my dice are hidden. Did you see that?
No.
Okay. And then I'll take that roll. Now we move to your turn. You do an investigation check. As you see, standing up in front of you, you would see a... It's Lord Watham in the Yuan Ti kind of stands ahead of you. They do the bow and look upon you.
Okay, so I can try to deceive that I am an illusion. I can try to investigate to figure out if they're an illusion. Or what's the third thing?
So it's really kind of two choices, but of separate grounds. You rather go straight down the investigation route to try and work out if they're an illusion, or you go down the dance route and you go for deception or insight. And that essentially is portraying, are you trying to read their dance ability, or are you trying to deceive to say what you're going to do in the dance? It's kind of a back and forth dance to see who kind of breaks the rhythm. So it's, you choose now, do you want to go into a roll-off, or would you prefer to try and investigate if it's an illusion?
I want to investigate.
Okay, then roll an investigation check. The DC is 10.
I got a 5.
And a natural 1.
Nat 1.
You try and look for any signs of an illusion, and you can't tell. You're not sure if it's shimmering or anything. You're looking for any signs, but you can't see through anything. We skip straight down to the performance check. So now you can decide if you don't want to perform, which will mean you automatically lose if it's a real person, or if you perform and it's an illusion, you also lose. But if you perform and it's a real person, it's whoever has the higher roll. And he has a plus d6 to the roll. I will always roll here, just so I don't give away if it's an illusion or not.
Okay, I will perform.
Okay.
Baby.
Nat 20.
You do the full rhythms. You watch as they copy and mimic. And then smile and fade as they're an illusion. And you find yourself drawn out of the bubble.
Fantastic.
Go out in round 1. Who would like to go next?
Girl, I will go.
I rolled a 5 to give you an idea on the first one. The DC is still a 5 because this is round 1. All right, Carla. I'll roll a d20 to determine if yours is an illusion or not. Okay.
Okay.
What would you like to do? Investigation, or would you like to...
I'll do the roll off.
The roll off. Okay. I rolled mine. I'll tell you afterwards what I rolled.
Okay, so now I pick
Insight
or deception. And can I just roll that publicly? Is that fine?
Yes.
I mean, I guess you need to see it either way, so.
They also rolled insight. You rolled a 20 on your insight. They also rolled insight. The number doesn't matter if you both roll the same thing, as you cancel each other out. Neither of you trying to deceive the other. Looking to try and guess if both of you are an illusion. We move to the performance check.
I'm going to perform.
Okay. They also are going to perform.
Come on.
That's one.
Oh, baby.
You match the rhythms that it's giving towards you as well. You move back and forth. You bow together. And it smiles and fades because it was an illusion.
Oh, no beans for me. All right.
Get brought out of it. I rolled a nat 1 on the illusion check.
I was gonna say Carlisle has rolled 3 dice, and 2 of them have been at 20s.
Yeah.
Insane.
Big roller. V, you gonna go next?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna roll a d20 to determine its illusion. Okay, the number has been set. Would you like to go to investigation or roll off?
Roll off.
Okay.
Okay. This is the insight versus deception.
Yep.
I get to choose. Okay.
Yep. And then I'd
Insight.
inform mine
20?
afterwards. 20 on insight. They also rolled insight.
20 on insight.
The numbers
Okay.
cancel each other out.
Okay.
As you both kind of look at each other, you can see in front of you is a halfling who's like smiling and moving with you. Would you like to move on to the? Well, we do move on to performance check. Would you like to perform or not?
Yeah, I'll perform.
Okay. This is a straight roll of performance.
Nat 20.
Damn.
This is a sick
Fucking
joke.
hell.
How's it
Everyone's
three
nat
nat
20.
20s?
They're
Ludicrous.
Yeah, right.
This is insane.
Jesus.
You move in such like perfect unison and like copy the rhythms that are being done, and the person in front of you does the same, and then they trip a little bit. They look around
Oh.
as they were not on an illusion, and they move out. You win. Move on to the next round. Desmond.
Perfect.
All right. He'll approach someone, start to eye him up and down, and go for the roll off.
You see the owlin from the gap, who kind of steps forward. Okay,
All right.
I've rolled to see if they're an illusion or not. Go ahead and roll your deception or your insight. They rolled
14.
insight, meaning they are real, but they rolled a 19 plus 2, 21.
I'm gonna use a little bit of trickery and re-roll it.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is I'm going to, when they're looking up, I'm gonna twist my right foot backwards, so
Yeah, you
it's
see them
the
kinda
wrong
look-
way.
Towards it, confused.
For an 18, right under.
They see you shift slightly and go. Now the performance begins. They get an extra D8 added to their performance check.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to need it. Overall, they only rolled... Well, I'll tell you after you roll your performance check.
Only 12.
They only had a 7. So you can see that
Okay.
even though they've kind
Hey.
of watched your movements and they try and match, you can see they're awkward about it and they don't match your style. They got brought out.
You can't do the robot, dude.
Sonia. No, sorry. Morgaine.
Mm.
I'm going to roll to see if it's an illusion. You can tell it's definitely not an illusion. This is a real person in front of you.
She
So-
would lean into Kitty and be like, "These people are real."
You just see Kitty moving back and forth. You're unsure if it's him or not. What it does mean is that you don't need to do the investigation check. You can move straight to the roll-off
Okay.
if you wish.
Yeah. Performance, right?
No, roll-off will be deception or insight. To try and learn their moves or hide your own.
Okay. 12 deception.
They rolled an 11 insight. So you have a plus D8 to your next performance check now.
Let's go.
So now we do the performance check.
Only a 12.
They only got an 11 because they rolled an 11
I
plus
would have had
0.
11 if I didn't get the D8. I rolled a 1
Yep.
on the D8.
You managed just to find a little bit of extra to kind of like beat their dance, moving with the rhythm of the music, and they get pulled out. Move on to round 2. Let's go around from same order. Carlisle. No, wait. Sorry.
Who's not in there?
V, Desmond, and Morgan are still here. V.
Okay.
I'm going to roll my d20. The DC has gone up by 1.
Okay.
Would you like to do investigation or roll off?
I'll do roll off.
Okay.
So I'll do insight. Oh, 11.
They also rolled insight. They rolled a 21 on insight, but because you both rolled insight, it means it's just a straight performance check against each other.
Okay, perfect.
You're both trying to analyze each other.
Okay.
Come on.
Alright. 12.
18. You see,
Oof.
as they dance alongside you, don't disappear and outperform your dance. You kind of have these awkward motions, and you see as they kind of smile as you get pulled out of the illusion. More illusions start disappearing all around you during this phase. Desmond.
He's gonna go for the investigation this time.
Okay. More investigation.
Yes, there it is. 15.
You determine that this is a real person. You spend your time analyzing. You can see there's no frame of an illusion. You're definitely sure of that. Straight to the performance
Okay.
check. They have a d6 extra against you.
Start to do a square dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
22.
They try and match rhythm and completely like fumble and fall back, only rolling a 7. They rolled a 1 on the d6. You see them get pulled out. It's a human man with kind of curly hair gets pulled out of it. Morgaine. Round 2 comes
Before
round.
the second round, Morgaine would lean into Kittic and say, I believe Lady Andrasa is a mage. I see abjuration magic.
You hear Kitty kind of look to you. But it's not the way you're leaning. Kitty's over kind of away from us. Morgaine? And gets pulled out of it.
Oh, buddy.
All the illusions kind of being confusing around you. Do you roll your investigation? Oh, no, you don't need to roll investigation. You would see that this person is obviously not an illusion.
Okay.
Do you want to go? Then you would go to the roll-off, yeah. I don't know, I keep asking
Nat
you.
1 on deception.
They rolled insight.
This will be fun.
7. They move on to the d20 performance check with a d8 added. So if you roll a performance check. Oh! What happened there? I think, yep, Discord chat has crashed.
That was a really good freeze, dude.
That's good.
You froze in such a way that it seemed like you were like thinking about what to say. So we were just waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your mouth was open, you were like thinking.
Yep.
There you go. Sorry, it was Discord crash for me. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, I rolled the performance check. So if you want to roll yours.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. I'm gonna choose to fail it and
Okay.
then go looking for Sir Kittic.
Okay. You see them kind of dance and perform pretty well as they rolled an 18, and you see as you get pulled around, and he's kind of at the back, and he's kind of laughs to you and goes, "How do you briefly in there, but a lot of illusions. What did you say?"
Lady Andrasa is a mage.
The Shadow Kai.
You knew?
I had an inkling.
You are the worst.
Anything special about them? An illusion?
I think it's-
transmutation?
No, I think it's mage armor.
Hmm.
Nothing else.
Keep your eye on them.
You keep your eye on them.
I meant your third eye. I'll keep both of my sets pondering the room.
Inside, Desmond, as the only remaining one. The third and final round.
Okay.
I've rolled my d20.
I'll do the roll off this time.
Okay.
I'll go. Yeah. Okay. Go deception.
They also
18.
went deception.
Okay. So it's a flat performance roll.
Yep, you can choose not to
both of
perform
us?
if you think it's an illusion, or you can do a flat performance check.
I will perform still.
Okay.
Beans.
Come on, did it roll?
Yeah.
Click it again just in case, because I don't see it. Oh, well,
Ooh, neither of those.
Nat 1.
there it is.
You see yourself like going up against them, and the nat 1, you stumble, fall back, and the person in front of you is Lady Toogle Falls, the goblin, and she kind of pulls back and laughs as she's real, and you get pulled out, and the illusion stuns. Ah! We have our winner! And you can see Ableton's face just kind of drops. Lady Toogle Falls. Say it I will. And she just I've never done that before. Pretty fun. All right. Kind of walks up towards him and goes, kind of takes the beans without being like handed them. Kind of shakes them. Less than I thought, of course. Ties it to her belt and just kind of walks over and gets another drink without even kind of any thank yous. And everyone's kind of expecting her to speak.
Legend.
The ball resumes. Food will be served momentarily. And you see as the kind of crowds start kind of splitting back up, a little confused, as kind of the very kind of like anticlimactic ending of the dance. As Two just kind of goes and looks at her beans, starts looking through them, counting them. That leads you guys all to kind of disperse back into your crowds. Does anyone do anything?
I probably would have stayed where we had all been sitting because I already could see the people I was interested in keeping an eye on from there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Carlisle would head back to the table.
V would follow Carlisle.
Well, I mean, I feel like I danced pretty good, but I got kicked out immediately. So, guess my eyes aren't as good as I thought they were.
Did you dance against an illusion?
Yeah, I danced against an illusion.
I don't really love that game, I have to be honest. It seems frivolous.
Well, maybe I'd have a better opinion of it if I hadn't gotten kicked out right away.
It's true. If you
Right
had
now,
a
I'm
bag
in the
of
same
beans you
boat.
could count, you could be quite happy.
Yeah, there's always next time.
That's
If
true.
I was going to come here again, which I probably won't, so there probably won't be a next time.
You never know where life takes you, right? You might end up at another party. They do this all the time.
Probably not, though. Probably not.
I could take the beans from the little one.
You want to... No. We don't want to take the beans from anyone.
Why?
Well, because they did win them fair and square, and if we were to go up to them and take them without asking, that would be frowned upon as theft.
Yeah.
Now, we could ask for a bean or two. There's nothing wrong with asking for a bean.
I can ask for the beans. I can be very persuasive, fair, and square, as you
Well,
say.
If you want to give asking the beans a try, and you promise you're not going to be violent or do anything too aggressive now, I'd be willing to go up with you. And maybe if we ask nicely, they'll give us a bean. They don't really seem like they care much about them, to be honest.
Lead the way, yes. I can help.
Well, I guess we're going to try to go get some beans. So I guess we'll be back in a minute.
Oh, I'm not going to miss this. Are you kidding?
Carlisle stand up with V and start walking towards
Yeah.
the goblin.
I'll follow along.
She's kind of like sat on her own in one corner as well with a few drinks beside empty ones. And she's looking inside the bag, counting them. And as soon as she sees you all kind of like start approaching, you see the goblin lady, she kind of pulls back and just tightens the rope. I saw a couple of you in there. Nice dancing. What do you want?
No, thank you. It was quite a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Sure.
Listen, my friend here just wanted to ask if you got so many beans in there, they've never seen a magic bean. If they could just take a look at.
I just take a sip of my drink.
She's V in all of her 5'2" glory is gonna be staring down at the lady like
She opens up, pulls one bean out. There's only 8. Lifts it. They look like beans. I don't even know if they're magical.
Carlisle's gonna mind if I sit down for a second? You had a chance to actually examine the beans. You actually know what kind of magic they are, or are you just handling?
No, I'm just
Beans.
handling them. I have no idea. I don't have any magic items. I've got a sword back home. That's about it.
Yeah, never actually seen any magic beans before, to be honest, either. So I was a little surprised to even hear about it.
Can
So
I
what do you
look
think you're
at
gonna- What do you
one?
think?
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Okay, my thing is.
I believe in you.
I can't untoggle advantage and disadvantage on roll 20 right now for some reason.
It is.
but-
If you go to your sheet, go to
Yeah.
the cogwheel and look at
Mhm.
someone else's
Okay.
sheet, so I can just quickly.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be a drop down on the right side that says like always roll advantage
Oh,
or something.
Thank you so much.
And you you
Advantage
click
Change that
that.
to toggle.
Thank you. Pog. Okay, disadvantage. You said persuasion?
Yes, please.
All
I
right.
believe in you.
6. Wait, sorry,
No, it's
not
just
one?
budget. That one.
Wait,
Yes.
hang on.
You should put the bean in, just ties it a little tighter. No, they're my beans.
They don't have to be your beans.
No, they don't. I won the dance, so they are my beans.
Desmond's gonna show up to the group now. Sort of look around at everyone. I almost won that, but as they say, beans. Yeah.
Aw.
Elbows deep.
You were close then.
Desmond,
Wait to the
Desmond,
end.
This mean
Yeah.
our beans.
weren't you wouldn't it at least be fair to let Desmond take a look at the beans for a minute? I mean, he almost won. Might as well give him a look.
Are they even real?
They're real.
First of all,
Desmond, you know what?
I hear there's
you know anything about magic items and stuff like that? We're trying to figure out what if the beans are.
Of course,
I'm
make
not
them
trying
all
to
the
figure that out.
time.
I know they're real. They wouldn't give me fake beans.
You know how easy beans are
The
to replicate
scandal
and
that
say they're
would
magic.
happen if they gave her fake beans.
Thank
The
you.
entire house would be absolutely ridiculed, laughed out of everything.
Well, no
These
one's
beans are
saying
real.
they're fake beans. We're just wondering whether or not the magic in them is very potent. Is all.
Yeah. You could plant it and it grows, 2 sprouts. That's the magic.
And you can check
I
if
think
it's got
that's
good
just
magic in it.
plants.
Of course.
Or a deception check.
Love this.
Can I give help for this?
25.
Yeah, I'll give you
You
like
don't
help.
even need to.
Goddamn.
I mean,
need it.
I'll be honest. The 25, she goes, takes one and goes, okay, just look at one. Passes it across and ties it up again. Kind of pushes it on her lap.
All right. He'll sort of run it across. He has just a single visor. He doesn't have eyes, as if he's scanning it. Sort of roll it around in his finger. Put it in the other hand.
Well,
These things ain't got a lick of magic in them.
roll a deception
Were you gonna
check
grow
again.
these or just hang them up? Yeah.
Roll another deception check.
Amazing.
26.
Those sneaky fucking bastards.
Do you want me to go talk to him?
Ooh, that's the decision now, isn't it? Are you going to say something now in the middle of the party? Are you going to wait until later? Confront them when everyone's watching?
I'm not gonna be like to look like a fool. Fuck the bag of beans. She throws it to the side. I won the dance.
I will say, you did win. You had one hell of a show out there.
Yeah, look at it on the bright side. You wiped the floor with them.
Yeah, nobody cares that, you got the beans. They see you as the winner.
You danced.
Yeah, I did. House lepers for you. All right. Go and have yourself a snack. 7 more in there. She gets up and just kind of finishes her drink, just throws the goblet onto the ground, not giving a shit, and just kind of walks off, stomping off angrily.
Carlisle will
Holy
reach down
shit.
and grab the bag and give it to V.
Take another drink.
Well, looks like you got the beans after all.
Get yourself
Well
a bag
done.
of beans.
I don't want these. You said they are useless, non-magical.
No,
No.
V. That was
Yeah.
to my knowledge, a bit of a deception, right? Carlisle's gonna look over at
Can I spend now identifying them
Yeah, if you have, do you have identify?
to make sure they are magic? I do.
Yep, then you can.
Nice.
Hey, Joe DM.
Okay, so that will take a minute, so we'll go back to our table. Just sort of.
If you do have
spend
the
time looking at
identify
'em.
spell, by the way, how much gold do you have?
Goal 15.
Identify requires a pearl, I think, for you to cast. Because we're doing
Oh,
material
that's
components.
right. I have to include these. When I put all my spells in, it was before
Yeah. I think it's.
I looked at that part, so I don't even have
100G?
regents under 100 gold in yet.
Yeah, that one's 100G pearl you'll need to add. Just because it's a material component with a gold cost.
100.
God dang.
You can spend an hour getting the basic idea if it's magical or not. That doesn't discover curses and doesn't discover the actual properties.
I'm not going to spend time
So,
identifying it.
do you say like, oh, maybe I can try to identify it? Does Desmond like say that? Like, oh, I can probably tell.
Oh, yeah. He would
Okay. Oh,
say he could, but
well,
not right now.
not right now. How'd you tell?
Oh, I would need a pearl about this big. He
Right,
makes it a
I
little bit
know.
bigger with his fingers, so it's
No, I
like 200
know.
gold worth.
It's
Well,
actually a little bit smaller than that.
Sorry, the
Yeah, no, that's
hydraulics,
oh.
you know.
well, look, the worst
could-
case, it is just beans, and we got some nice beans we can plant, and that's pretty nice as well. Either way, a bean collection exists.
And
could
then we
always-
can eat the plants after planting the beans.
And if we eat the plants, we will become stronger through sustenance.
Yes.
Right.
You understand. Yes.
another drink. What if somebody's wearing a pearl about this size in the
I will
party?
take it.
No,
No, it's easier to get the beans than I think it is to get a pearl.
Maybe.
Just a thought.
this is a question, Joe. If I need a regent, can it still be on a ring and just,
Yeah.
like on their hand? Like I don't even need to take the ring off, just sort of.
Yeah, if it's a quick cast, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, it'd still be a minute, so I'd have to like hold her hand for a
Yeah.
minute or something.
Because the casting times are 1 minute, you'd have to be holding the hand for a minute.
Oh my god.
It might be.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't
Somewhere
mind.
around.
It's one of those YouTube challenges.
Do you know someone who has
Oh, I
a
don't.
pearl that big?
We could look.
I mean,
around.
I haven't really been specifically looking for that as I've walked around, but I'm sure we could have another wander and see what we see. Takes another drink.
Yeah, all right.
Just a thought.
Let me just. Can Carlisle do like a perception check on like the nearby crowd? to
Yeah,
see if
that's
there's
what I
anyone
would
just,
be
like, has
doing.
one right now.
I'd be
Yeah.
scanning the room at the moment. I'm not
I
good
would
at
try
that, though.
as well.
Thank God.
Oh lord.
So we have a. Hold on, let me just get my rules and mechanics up for it. Because it's the first time it's going to come up.
Oh.
Let me get my stacking rolls rules. So, when you want to stack rolls, if there's a situation where 2 or more party members want to make the same check, 2 of them can roll individually or provide advantage to the other. For each other person, they must provide an example of what they're doing to help to gain a +1 to the roll with a max of +2 8.
That's
Basically to
really
help-
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I like that. So,
So-
in this context, if
yeah.
I'm rolling first, I would have advantage from
One person
V,
joins in, they
and
can
then
give you
I would get-
advantage or roll individually.
Yeah.
Second person joins
I'll
in,
Give advantage.
they can give you a +1 if they just tell me what they're also doing at the same time.
Yeah, so
Alright,
what I would
19 is my
do,
first roll, and I'll do the other one right now without advantage.
Okay.
I would try to use my knowledge of when I came into this room, and I generally look for people with expensive things to know if I could go up to them and, help them or tell them that I'm someone.
Yeah.
So I would be trying to recall hands that might have had rings on them.
Okay. So add a +1 to your advantage as well.
Alright, so that's a 20.
A 20. You'd go around and you look around and you find that kind of it's not the season currently for pearl jewelry. You can see it's kind of almost like this ruby season right now, being the height of summer. However, with a 20, you'd be able to wander around long enough that you come across over to one side Lord Vithlin of House Tyrion of the land of Last. He's a quiet and reserved, very kind of like lightly toned brown skin with like a black beard that comes around, hides his mouth underneath it. Very kind of sharp eyes that kind of stare around and almost like pointed cheekbones. He seems to be wearing a necklace of very small poles that go around all the way into a big one at the bottom. That one is larger. That one seems to be at least worth 100 gold. He stands kind of having point in conversation.
He's from where? Sorry.
From Last. The land of death.
Yes.
Well, I say that not so ominously. This is the land where the angel of death passed down her family, I should say.
Right.
Do you know that one?
I don't. We've not met. I mean, we can always go introduce ourselves. It's not like you can only talk to people that you already know.
Introducing ourselves would be the easy part, asking to hold their pearl necklace for a minute. A little trickier.
Rue, what if we asked the lovely lady who sat down with us? She probably knows everyone here because she's going to live here, right? Maybe she knows them. She could get us an introduction.
That's not a bad idea.
Or we just go up and say hello. Who are they? Is he talking to anybody? Who's around him?
Yeah, he's talking to the Leonin from the Strifeland, Sir Gore. He kind of stands there, just kind of broadly speaking, a little bit loud, like he's one of those people that speaks too loud for his little kind of circle of peers. So he's kind of overbearing and causing people to kind of distance themselves so they can hear their own conversations.
I don't know them either, right?
Mm-mm.
I don't think so. Okay, yeah. No, I'm afraid I don't really know either one of them that well, just who they are.
Well, either we walk up and we talk to them now, or we talk to them in a little bit. What do we want to do?
True, your beans aren't going anywhere, are they? It's not like you have to find out right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, unless we're planning on planting the beans right here.
That's true, probably not.
The same goes for, I could figure out what these are tonight. It's not like we're in a hurry,
Yeah.
True.
So we are not taking the pearl.
No.
She was like already standing up, starting to walk.
No, we're gonna hold off on taking the pearl.
Very well. She'll sit back down.
Good initiative, though.
You can
Takes another drink.
Meanwhile, whilst you're all gathered around, Zonia and Morgan, let's start with Zonia. What are you doing? You can see right now as well, they've opened up the doors to the feasting hall, and some of the lords are already kind of being laid up there to go and find their seats as the meal and the feast is about to begin.
Yeah, I think basically the minute that Zonia was kicked out of the dance, she would have sort of like milled around looking for Olimar.
Yeah, you can see he's prepping to go into the feasting hall himself. He goes, oh.
Sorry. Got held up doing this and that.
Oh, it's good to see you. I was hoping I'd run into you again before we have to go up there. All my family's finding their seat right now.
And we can't have... there's no reason that we could just vanish for a bit.
I wish. But we've got our seat at the table now. The main table.
Of course. All right, well, lead on, husband-to-be.
Oh, with me, wife. And he kind of walks up the stairs, and you enter into this much longer hallway. Well, maybe similar size, up the stairs into the taller part of the of Crown Hall. And this great hall is kind of got cobbled pathway, the long red carpet going down the ground, pillars going up towards the ceiling, glass that has been kind of stained on all sides, but paintings kind of drawn into it. light kind of pushing through on all sides. And at the very end, the symbol of House Lepos, which is a red dragon sniffing a flower, kind of on this great big rounded pane of glass that shoots through its light. You can see some of the servants are prepping things, getting the last bits prepped. Some of the lords and kind of the elderly have kind of come through to get their seats early. Not everyone is being invited up here, but you can already see at the end of the hall where it almost goes up. There's 4 sets of tables, 2 long tables each one maybe 40 feet long, going along on each side. So 4 of these great tables, and then right at the end, there's 2 tables above. A small little kind of semicircular staircase that leads to like probably a good like 4 foot off the ground. The tables up there are for the lords of the house. One side, Lord Alandris and his side are kind of sat there, and the eldest. And you can see over to the right, there's a seat for both yourself and Olimar to kind of be on the grander stage instead of on the lower sections where you might be used to now. You see kind of the bugbear standing pretty adjacent to the table and goes, as he sees you kind of walking in from the distance. You walk beside Olimar. Don't worry too much about pleasantries tonight. We'll hopefully the feast will go fast, and then I'll say that I'm feeling under the weather and we can slip out of here.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. And he continues walking all the way across, and at the top, Lord Lepos would stand and walk towards you and kind of fold his hand behind his back and stop you before you move over towards your chair. I do hope that you have made plenty of acquaintances today. Both of you. It is a big day for our family.
I am honored to be given such treatment today. I know it's very important.
Good. It is important. You should be honored. You find your seat at the high table. Do not embarrass us. Both of you. You'll be polite. You'll pick up your cutlery only when your older siblings do. And you follow form. Do I make myself clear?
Of course.
She'll look at Olimar.
And sit. He wanders back and sits down. Olimar kind of looks sheepish and kind of like shy in that presence of his father, and he kind of walks around and sits down on the chair closest to his family, giving you the kind of edge chair. Get a little kind of breathing room. He kind of turns himself on the table. He sat right next to you. It would be the probably Soman's on the other table. This one would be, let me double check my names to see if there's anyone I'm missing. No, this one would definitely, this would be Dela on the inside, closest to the father, and Sir Tereva kind of sat right next to Olimar, who doesn't really kind of give him any notice and just kind of like sits there ready. Olimar turns, so he's kind of like his shoulders blocking out the others. A few dishes, a couple of hours. Everyone will start drinking. We'll excuse ourselves and we'll get out of here. Not long.
Not long.
Not long. Besides, at least we know the food's good.
Little blessings.
People start being ushered into the hall. And slowly, you'd see as lords and ladies start coming in to sit at their seats. So, Morgan, what are you doing?
She would have tried to seek some fresh air, if possible, before being ushered into the hall.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be able to go out of like one of the side doors that leads onto like the open balcony areas. When you're out there, you see one of the servant women she's kind of like cleaning across, almost like this balustrade that hangs over. It's a balcony, like a greater balcony that hangs outside the dancing hall that leans over a portion of the town. You see her kind of wiping it down. She kind of bows her head to you. Middle-aged, kind of holds her face down.
Are you a knight?
On all days but today, it seems.
Keeps her face down. Goes,
It's so good to have knights here, protecting us.
Why?
Well, I've heard you are to uphold chivalry.
she never meets your gaze, then her kind of hair fall over her face, nervous.
We strive to, yes.
Well, we thank you on behalf of House Lepos.
We'll smile and nod her head.
She ushers in behind you and kind of rushes back inside. You're out in the balcony alone. You can hear as the others are starting to gather and go into the main hall. It's still early, 11 a.m. It's only a couple of hours into the party, a few hours into the party.
Yeah.
The festival is kind of... It looks more exciting down there in the town than it does up here. And you have a great view of the whole area.
No, I don't.
You don't.
Oh,
No, you don't. Sorry, I'm
buddy.
going to have to get used to that. You stand there on the balcony, and you can kind of feel the breeze, a calming nature of kind of like only hearing distant sounds from both within and down below.
Yeah. She like takes in the fresh air, kind of breathes in the relative quiet compared to inside. And feels calmer. She feels uneasy without armor on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. She'll linger for a few moments, listen to the town and the birds. Deep sigh, and then follow the maid back in through the doors.
She's gone by the time you get in there, but you'd be able to move your way up into the main halls. The same with the rest of you, as you'd be able to kind of be invited up there as you're being called to the mill starting. The food will be served soon. Now seeing that the greater lords have all kind of been sat at the front. Where would you like to sit? Now, to give you an idea of what the kind of general map is, again, you've got a couple of tables to your left, a couple of tables to your right, and then two more, and then there's the two lord tables. You can see some of the higher ranking folk are sitting on the tables closest to the lords at the end, whereas some of the lesser ones are kind of put into the corners elsewhere. But as you're all kind of wandering up there, is there any particular place you'd like to sit? Anyone you'd like to sit near or anything like that? I've got all of the NPC locations, so they've all kind of sat down and moved into their own little locations.
Pretty normal for Carlisle to want to sit near Rodot.
Yeah, she sits over to the left on one of the lower tables there, right in the end, so she can have a little bit of room to breathe. And yeah, you can go down and sit next to her. And she goes, good, the best bit. I'm sure not a single vegetarian dish among them. But
Well, if there are any, I'll make sure that some are brought over.
You are unfathomably sweet, Carlo.
Ain't I?
you know,
We will join as well.
yeah, are you going to sit opposite or beside?
Probably beside.
Okay.
She yeah, beside Carlisle.
You'd see She kind of leans across. And what about Desmond? Desmond, you'd be walking in with them as well.
Yeah, he would sit down right in front of Carlisle and V and say, "Just gonna sit with my friends up at the main table, but I think I'll settle here for tonight."
I mean, are you sure? I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Don't worry about us if you got friends you need to meet up with.
Oh, I see them all the time. I'll see them tomorrow. I'll see them the next day.
Which ones are they?
The ones on the
because just so I know who I might be getting introduced to later. You know what I mean?
yeah, they're the ones on the left.
Ones on the left over there. Those ones.
Yeah.
Like Carlisle's like just gonna start pointing towards people.
Yeah.
Holy
see-
shit.
Over that way, you would see there's the Guildmaster Dwarf, a Tiefling from Harvest Lands, a Halfling, a couple other lords, the Yuan-Ti, Ableton. They're kind of sat on those tables over there. Urodot kind of slaps your hand down. Dear?
No. Oh, sorry about that.
Do you know why I really brought you down here?
Well, because you need someone to make sure you're in tip top for all this recruiting you've been up to.
Sure.
Looks like it takes a lot out of you.
It does. It's not the real reason. You spent so long helping people up there. In my time, though, there's a lot of cruelty up north. Some of the kindest people you ever run into up there. Because it's so necessary. When your people need to work together to harvest food or defend for themselves or defend one another, they often become kinder. Down here, it's hard to find a kind person among the nobles and the elite. I wanted to get you away from all of that, so you can experience a bit of the world down here.
Yeah, I mean, it's awfully thoughtful of you, but I'm not exactly sure that I've earned a vacation just yet. But, as long as I'm still on the job, I can let it slide this once. But as soon as this is all done, we're heading back on up, right?
Just places a hand on yours. As sweet as you are naive.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? You're just fine still. You still got more time. We're gonna take you back on up.
It's a one-way trip, Carlisle. In truth, we get summoned to all of these parties all over the time. They have to, really. It's a sense of honor to invite Dusk Watchers down here. They don't like us here. Most of the time we ignore them. Occasionally if we think we could recruit. The truth is, getting 20 people from this party was far more than I thought. I thought it would be fun just for one little adventure. I don't imagine I'll be going back.
Well, if you ain't going back, you better find yourself a nice vacation home that's gonna last you a little bit, because I don't reckon you're gonna be keeling over that.
Well, maybe I'll do that. But you should as well. For a little bit.
No, I don't. I think I'm gonna be heading back up pretty quick, but this was a nice little trip around.
Got a good heart. Where are you sitting, Morgan?
You're muted.
Fuck, I'm the one that got me.
First one.
Yeah.
You had
I
that
even met
bingo
someone else
sheet.
and was like,
Yeah, after you messaged everybody.
Morgan would linger and see if she could hear Kittic, or if he was anticipating her, and if not, she would gravitate towards the others she had met, who are rather loud by the door.
Yeah, I mean, he's not necessarily expecting. He's sat on the kind of corner table to the right, which is quieter, and kind of just leaning over, like kind of getting comfortable in the bench-like chairs. But he's not necessarily calling you over. So it's basically down to whether you wish you would sit next to him or if you would go and sit with the new group.
Yeah, she'll sit with Kittic.
Okay. Yeah, you can go and sit opposite. And he kind of looks across to you. Well, after the food, we can make a leave.
Have you enjoyed it?
No.
Me neither.
But I have some inklings that maybe it'll be further south. Maybe across the water and head into the bay.
Okay.
Fill your belly tonight. And it's always fine to ask for more food if you want to take some rations. Any food that will be easy to salt or store for a long time. Enjoy.
And Josh.
Thanks to you, I'm not sure where I'll put it, but
He kind of like leans back.
You can toss the clothes afterwards. I only really
that would
went
be
for
worse.
this.
Whereabouts are you sitting in dresser?
Where are the other folks from the Gap sitting?
On the one of them's quite actually close to the group, the Owlin. The centaur's on the bottom left table, the far left table, because he needed some extra room away from the bench to actually stand up. Not very accommodating of him. So those two are on the tables to the left.
Where's the lore keeper sitting?
Tables over to the right. 2 chairs away from Kittic at the moment.
I'll go to that table.
Okay. Where do you want to sit at that table?
I guess where are the open chairs?
There's plenty. It's you can sit like opposite. You can sit a couple away. Give me just a general gist. There's loads of open chairs here and there. It's long benches.
I think
they're
if
40
they're
foot long.
yeah, if they're all relatively close to each other, I would sit like right there, like
Okay.
across from the lore keeper, maybe.
Okay. So closer to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like 2 people away.
Yeah. You
All right.
sit down, kind of opposite her. Her eyes flick up. She doesn't acknowledge you yet. As you'd see the first of the courses start to be brought out. Servants start walking through. And the first course is a soup that's kind of laid out in front of you in these kind of small little wooden bowls with bread wine on the side, that reddened bread. It's infused with wine, a red wine. The soup itself is the oryx tail, which you can see it's kind of very dark, almost black, dark brown broth soup. It's served with a salad of greens with a vinaigrette and nuts amidst the salad, almost these kind of like walnuts. They ooze with magic as well. You can see them through your magic Morgaine. They've kind of got this kind of transmutation magic, this orange going across it, which allows when you bite into them, they prickle your tongue slightly, almost like stinging nettles for a moment, but that dies down. Drizzled in like a fire lemon as well, that makes it quite a spicy salad. On the side of that, you get a burning salsa that is like sauce that is served with another type of bread that is shaped like a bouquet of flowers. It's kind of baked into that way. A little bit overdone, but the bread is infused with a kind of a flower flavoring, like roses and kind of daffodils and all these kind of different types of flowers. That's kind of the first course set up on everyone's tables and placed out in front of you. You have a series of cutlery and spoons all around you as well. Some use their hands. It's kind of expected in different cultures and different places. No one really has a set idea of how to eat, but the main table is very much using the cutlery as served in front of them. Silverware.
V's definitely using her claws. No silverware.
Yeah, I'm just kind of picking into it. Across from you and Drusty, you see her eyes finally match you, and she chooses the moment that you kind of putting some food into your mouth. Glad to see how far you've come, dear.
I finished the bite that was halfway to my mouth. Doorkeeper, it has been a while.
I've
You
heard
take
that you
another
found
bite?
yourself in the gap.
I I did.
It is good you found footing.
Wasn't really needing to find footing, but I appreciate that anyway.
No? Perhaps we remember events differently.
It's been a long while, as I say. What is it? 50 years?
Has it been that long?
It is, and
Drink some
your
soup.
memory probably isn't quite what it was.
Oh, no,
so
it is as fine as it
stands
was.
that.
You know, I am lawkeeper after all.
You are. So long, and that. You look exactly the same.
Oh. As do you. Perhaps a little more tired.
Takes a drink.
You should. Find yourself away more often. So do some good. Out of the dangers of the gap. You know. Simple folk.
Oh. It makes sense, of course, that you would be nervous about the dangers of the gap, given how nervous you were back then. How nervous all of you were back then.
I think you are mistaking nerves for caution.
Am I?
And for rules.
It's interesting.
Is it?
Because... yeah, it is actually. You know... Not a single one of you tried to speak to me on my own to
You knew the rules.
show your concern. You're all so afraid of what might happen that you had to gather the entire faculty together just for a conversation. A simple little conversation. All of you together. You didn't know it was going to happen. So, then in the last 50 years, either you've grown more courageous since then, your mind isn't quite what it used to be, and you forgot that you should be nervous.
Should I?
Well, you were. What do you think has changed? I've had 50 years without any oversight now.
Oh.
50 years?
It's just... I'm wondering if you truly are admitting to what you're admitting to.
What do you think I'm admitting to?
Well... when you were removed... just because you started to dabble in some things which were unconventional. In my honest opinion, if you wish to have my honest opinion.
Of course.
Of course. Expelling was light. If you wish to know what kind of punishment that could come with, perhaps move 2 spaces to your left. Again, I am happy to see you find your footing, dear. She just takes a spoonful of soup.
I take a drink.
Is anyone else doing anything during dinner? I imagine it's quite pleasant up the top side with Oliver, and in terms of, when I say pleasant, more so very strict, very kind of clinical eating up there, kind of, you know, eating things in a certain order. The temptation of Oliver to dip his bread in the soup, but realizing he shouldn't. And so again, kind of getting through the course is almost like there is a correct path. It isn't long before an arrow cockerel would head down center stage. All the servants have left at this point. They've gone for a little time.
And Aarakocra heads down center stage as you're all eating your foods and walks straight into the middle. And Lord Elandris stands up and addresses the hall for the first time. My friends, those who have come far and wide across Hyaloma. I know some of you have journeyed a couple of weeks to get here. We thank you. We raise our glasses to you. It is the final day of summer. We celebrate our festival with joy and with banquet. As we understand it, some of you have some gifts, and we thank you for that. Summer to Summer Eladrin is a special affair. For our very essence is part of this season. And as we say goodbye to longer days of sun, we say hello to the warm hearth of our halls, the stronger ales. And you see people kind of like laugh and give a kind of a polite chuckle. And the bringing together of family. Before gifts are given and thanks are had, we wish to raise a glass to the soon-to-be wed, my fourth son, Lord Olimar, and his dear wife-to-be, Lady Zonia of Songrest. 5 years ago, we aided them, and she came to us, and she is like a daughter to me. To Olimar and Zonia. You see people kind of resound and raise their glasses. To Olimar and Zonia! Olimar kind of clutches your hand underneath the table.
Yeah.
And everyone takes a drink. Please. Whatever gifts you have, I would like to see them. He kind of sits back and smiles. The Aarakocra in the center is kind of preparing this violin. It starts floating on its own. She's spinning it around, preparing for a performance. As gifts are slowly brought out, you'd see pushed out first, one by one. You'd see from the blisters, they bring a model of their latest ship, the Final Core, a beautiful ship. They kind of place it, and it goes on the front table in front of the Lord himself, Elandris. From Horizon's Rest, it seems to be a piece of art depicting the fall of the king, which you can visibly see. Like Lord Lepos is kind of smiling through gritted teeth. For those who know the history of this place, from the Harvest Lands, you see them bring in a full-sized Ankheg statue. Ankhegs being these almost like praying mantises. They're completely made of a stone, this kind of big stonework, and it's pushed into the lower portions of the hall, kept closer to the gates and the doors. You can see it just kind of holds up their kind of words with it. As the season comes to an end, we celebrate. The Ankhegs do not disturb our fields during autumn and winter. They will come back in spring, but for now, we give you a statue of one of our greatest plights, but a beautiful being nonetheless. You see the Lord kind of nods his head. One by one, they keep kind of bringing out. The Gap brings out a weapon and kind of like places it down, but it's like blunted at the end. Verland, a black bracelet to signify the Shah, and all of those who have fought since it. And the gifts are kind of provided out. The Lord stands up again. Whilst our second course is being served, the fabulous Mailer Wingspur has a performance for us unlike any other. A song of illusion. Please, as your food comes, listen to her music, her song. We thank you again for coming. Enjoy your meal. And he sits back, and the music begins to play. This song of the feast kind of like echoes throughout the hall, and you'd see it creates like an illusion that goes to the center of the hall and tells a tale that has been told 1,000 times. I'm just going to refresh my Roll20 because it's not playing the song. Roll20 has logged me out. Of course it has.
Well, that's helpful.
No.
So I'll solo that up. You can see that it tells the tale of when the humans first kind of were to meet the angels, and they went down into the depths and came across the slumbering angels to ask for their aid and call upon them in their time of need. The song, as the tune goes with it, it's very much left open to interpretation. There's no voices. It's just the music playing to the rhythm. As you see these kind of depicted angels floating above, humans bowing down and speaking to them. A beautiful moment in the history of mortal kind as the houses were formed. The servants, for you, Morgaine, you can see as an illusion is just kind of purple swirls all around you, kind of creating it. You can see the illusion itself. In your mind eye, you can make out the symbols and the figures. It's kind of more of a blur of mist to you. You can see the story they're trying to tell. And into the hall comes all of the servants carrying the second course of skewers of fey-infused giant bee meat. A whole giant frog that's kind of brought on a great platter and brought over towards the main tables. This food's slowly being brought out. The servants move around, and the beautiful depiction in the center shows the angel glowing. Immortals standing, 13 of them, each glow one by one. You can see that in your mind's eye, Morgaine, but you can also see illusions going around the room as well. Figures moving. And then down the center of the room, you can see a lady walking, stepping through the illusion. You are confused as they see her kind of stepping through. Next to the Ankeg statue at the back, kind of just looking, peering up at it. Roll a perception check for me, Zonia.
Okay.
Come on, girl.
A 14.
14.
Hmm.
You see Forvana just staring up at the Ankeg statue. Blank face, just watching it. The lady walks through the center of the illusion, kind of breaking portions of it, but it folds around her and she walks straight into the middle of the room. Some people kind of confused, thinking it's a servant that's strayed too far. Morgaine, you see the illusions are now moving around you. A few of them planting themselves in different portions around. One comes pretty close to you. Within only a few chairs, by a halfling sat at the end of the table, you see illusion step beside them. And you see a woman, hear a woman cackling. Lords and ladies of Crown Heart Hall. You all look around. Lord Landris kind of puts his head, looks towards Mela Wingspur, kind of confused, thinking it's part of the act. She looks confused. The song going on without her, that illusion always going to continue towards the end. You are vermin. You're kind of ushering conversation. Vermin must be slaughtered. Lord Order goes, Lord Landris, what the hell is this all? And suddenly a knife is drawn and stabs straight into his gut. He coughs blood onto the table. As more knives across the room start beginning stabbing and striking people. People shouting, people confused around the room. And you see the woman in the center turn and throw a bottle against the Ankeg statue. It pulls across it and the stone starts breaking off and unpetrifying as this Ankeg cackle starts kind of breaking free. The head comes first and almost instinctively looks down towards Forvana, who stares up glumly and dull straight up her and shoots forward with acid and bite, taking her in two. But when it crunches down, as the stabs of these servants who forms change as they start interacting with others, becoming not like the servants that were serving before, but peasants. People shouting, but those who can see this Ankheg tearing into this person. Drops the body. And the body fades. Like ash dropping into the ground and fading entirely. And the ground rises. Like being plunged underwater, you see darkness consume the windows. As the dawn of the day, 11 a.m. outside becomes night. Fervent night. And this feeling of water rushing across you, but there is no water there, almost like a rippling, fills the room. Darkness collides and the candles come on. There's a smell, a stink, a rot to the air. People are ready to react to the assassins when, as you guys are quite close to it, only 10 or 15 feet away from this Ankheg, as its arms start coming close and opening up. You realize outside the windows, something is different. There is no stars. The sun is grey as it peers down, showing no light. The cackling woman stands in the center of the room, laughing, twisting, holding out her hands. You can hear the shout. Sir Kitty is shouting towards you, Morgaine. It's her! It's her! For those closest, descending down onto the Ankheg that is coming alive, preparing yourselves to maybe hold up against whatever this is. You see a gangly humanoid form, but longer arms and longer legs. A woman's hair that's kind of ragged, and a mouth as gape as far as her head, with razor-sharp teeth in circles and spirals like a worm, drops down on top of the Ankheg, falling from the ceiling, twists its head, grabs two of the arms, snaps them free, drinks down in that mouth that kind of sucks back, almost like drinking back a lobster. The Ankheg drops down dead as this unworldly creature stands up, 15 feet tall. Hunchback comes over and its mouth opens wide. It lets out a scream, but it's silent, but you can feel it, the rippling of the sound. As those are stabbing guests, and this creature lands, all of you without armor, without weapons, in a hall filled with death. That is where we'll end tonight's episode of Sunforged.
Boy, I'm glad I rolled a nat 20 on my confiscation check.
Yeah, no joke.
Because last I checked, I have a weapon and so does V.
That's true.
Yeah.
So do
I
I.
technically have a rapier.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I got a spoon.
Well,
Yeah, you're fine.
Ah.
thank you everyone for
Big
playing.
Whew.
Damn.
True, Shane is the weapon.
I am the
True.
weapon.
True.
I'll give you a little hint about the map for next week. There is something like 40 plus NPCs on the map.
It's fine.
It is a dangerous
God.
encounter. But the sooner it's finished, the less people die.
Good.
So it's very much a
Okay.
case of and give you an idea.
Easy.
There's a lot of named characters here, and I don't know who's going to live or die. So it's going to change the course of the game. But
That was all
boy.
real? That wasn't a play?
No pressure.
I thought like everyone was in on it.
yeah, it was just a big prank at the end.
Yeah.
So next week we'll pick up with the fight and see how you guys get along in this room to find out what's happening here.
Damn.
Thank you all for playing. Welcome back. Welcome to campaign 2, everybody. All your characters are awesome. I'm so happy to finally see them all after being spoiled and all the artwork for so long and hearing little tidbits. So, yeah. Let's do some shout outs and we'll go around and call it there. Dodger, want to start us off?
Hi, I'm Dodger. You can find me at Dex Bonus on pretty much everything. I stream almost every day. And I'm so excited to be playing D&D with this group again and with Joe as our incredible DM. I know everybody worked really hard on their characters and stuff, and I think that it's going to be super fun. So thank you everybody who watched, and thank you to all of our amazing artists who did our art. They all turned out amazing.
Sam.
Dedicating my shout out to Joe Fudge. If this is your first foray into him DMing, he is fantastic, and you're in for a treat. And you should come back next week and watch more. And yeah, everyone's characters are amazing. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time.
Tomato.
Yeah, shout out to the next couple hundred sessions where I will just not say anything.
That's true. That's true. We have that to look forward to.
Technically, that was a shout out.
Yeah, that was the closest we've come in a long time.
Does that count? They need to know for the bingo. Apparently, your shout out is on the bingo.
That's true.
Does that count?
Yeah, I'd say
He
no.
said the words shout out.
He did say
to.
the word shout out, though.
He said shout out to, and then stuff after.
Shout something out.
Oh, that's a good point. You did shout something out. Technically, it counts as a shout. That counts.
That's fair.
And a
Sorry, bingos. Because I imagine what they said in the bingo was probably the free space that said Tomato won't do a shout out. Bree.
Can you imagine having to scribble out the free space?
Okay. Hi, I'm Bree Bun. I highly recommend you guys come back next week. I'm biased, obviously, but our last campaign, I think, was magical. Our chemistry we have between our players is fucking fantastic. And so I don't think you'll want to miss this. So if I can shout out anything, it's please, viewers, come back next week and enjoy this journey along with us.
Yeah, and to reiterate what Bree's saying, this is kind of the prologue to the campaign. This is a very jumpy TV kind of like episode where, like, you know, we're just cutting between everyone as they're slowly meeting. So once you see them actually perform as a party, we'll be going on for 100+ episodes, and it goes all the way to the top end, and lots and lots to explore and discover. It's going to be fun. So yeah, getting in now. There was a lot of people who started watching Godforged like 50 episodes in, and that's a long trek. So
it's tough.
Come back every week, and you'll be able to keep up with us. Shane.
Yeah, we'll get 100 more episodes. We won't wipe here. That's right.
It's fine. We're fine.
Have you seen our level 2 stats, dude? I think we're good.
Yeah, to be honest.
Well,
It
one
took
of the
me,
things
like,
about this
until level
encounter,
11 to get 20 AC.
one thing to take in about this encounter is that there is a lot of meat shields. It's just
there's a lot of targets in there, man.
40
it's not
people?
Just us.
It is a case of your AC
Fucked up,
is
but yeah.
the lives of others. So you just have
Of
to be clever.
hiding behind other people.
Unless you're a knight, in which case it's the opposite.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Have fun. But hi, I'm Shane. I've been so excited for this new campaign and this new setting. I never even turned off my last D&D alarm because I wanted to make sure, like, mentally, I was always
Cute.
ready.
That's sweet.
But yeah, it's so exciting seeing everybody's new characters and how we interact together, and it already feels so great being back with this party.
For sure.
OG?
Yeah. Hello, I'm OLG, but you already know that if you were here at the beginning, so I don't really need to repeat it. Obviously, I also am very, very excited. I think something that is cool, or maybe about this first session than Godforged's first session, is that we didn't really know each other that well, or some of us at all, when we started Godforged, and so it was super cool. I don't know. I had the luxury of being the last person introduced, so it was super cool to just watch everyone else get introduced, and then, like others have said, right, our chemistry was already there, so it's. I think we get to hit the ground running in a different way. I don't know, and I'm excited for that. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be really fun. Just some general shout-outs from me. Obviously, this is the channel to watch this on. Otherwise, there is a YouTube that you can watch it on. There's a Patreon that I have all behind-the-scenes stuff. GM notes. If you want to see all my GM notes for this episode, for example, and like 12 pages of them, then you can go there. Otherwise, Homebrew and stuff like that goes on there. Otherwise, yeah, I know we're biased and employed to come back each week, but it's fun jumping into a campaign from the ground running. Things get intense, emotional, and exciting, especially as they get further and further through the level. So there's a lot of world to explore. I think in total I've written didn't write wrote 50,000 plus words for just lore in this world. So there's a lot of stuff to explore, a lot of story, and I'm a little bit more biased here. Some of my favorite D&D is always in those first few levels when you're doing those early quests and you're kind of your Act 1 experience. So it's gonna be a lot of fun and pretty intense. So we'll be back next week. Thank you everyone for playing. One quick thing just to go around before we start as well. I didn't ask everyone's race, but in case people are curious about that, because I know they've got like little guest sheets. You won't know subclasses until everyone's really hit their subclasses. Like a couple people have got their subclasses because wizards get them early, etc. But you'll get those when they all kind of come in together. But for we already did classes. So does anyone want to say their race? Going around?
I already did. Shatterkai.
Shatterkai, you did. And then Tomato said Hobgoblin.
Human.
Human, yes. Dodger is an Asimar.
Asimar Goliath.
Asimar Goliath,
Nice.
yes. Asimar in this world are kind of like a
So cool.
sub-race of a bunch of others. So yeah. Asimar Goliath. And then Bree is a moth folk, essentially. Pepio? I completely forgot the name.
Papilio.
Papilio. Yes.
Papilio. It's like a homebrew moth.
Cute.
Like elven moth.
Also, chat saw it on the channel art, so the cat's out the bag, but I am a paladin warlock.
Yes, I forgot it was on there. When I was fucking around, I saw it and I was like, oh. Yes. Paladin Warlock multi-class.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see you for next week. Kicking off with a fight. Thanks everyone for coming out. I know there's a lot of subs. I'll thank you guys tomorrow. We do like a recap tomorrow, so I'll thank you during that. Thank you everyone from all the support. Much love to you all, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.